You better work. I have one thing to say. You better work.
Man, I can't fucking believe this. The same shit happened to the same guy twice.
Hey yo, sweetie, you looking kinda pretty. What's a girl like you doing in this rough city?
I'm just here trying to hold my own ground.
Yeah, I think I like how that sound. What you say we get to know each other better?
That sounds good, but I don't think that I can let you.
I don't know, tell me, is it so? Do you get a kick out of telling brothers no?
No, it's not that, see, you don't understand. I said I'll put it, I got a man.
What your man got to do with me?
I told ya,
I'm not trying to hear that, see?
I'm not one of those girls that go whipping around.
I'm not a duck, baby, so don't play me like a clown.
I'll admit, I like how you kick it.
Now you're talking, baby, that's the ticket.
Now don't get excited and jump your own hand. I already told ya, I got a man.
What your man got to do with me?
I got a man.
I'm not trying to hear that, see?
I got a man.
What your man got to do with me?
I got a man.
I'm not trying to hear that.
Now you can persist and play Don Juan all night, but ain't nothing gonna change.
Yeah, baby, sure you're right. I'ma break it down and do whatever I got to do. I'll tell you now, I got eyes for you.
You got eyes, but they're not for me. You better use them for what
your man's Pee Wee Herman.
I got a question to ask you, truth. Are you a chef? Cause you keep feeding me soup.
You know what they say about those who sweat themselves. You might find yourself by yourself. I'm not waiting because I'm no waiter. So when I blow up, don't try to kick it to me later.
All them girls must got you gas.
Or when they see a good thing, they don't let it pass.
Well, that's okay. You see if that's their plan. Cause for me, I already got a man.
What your man got to do with me?
I got a man.
I'm not trying to hear that, see?
I got a man.
What your man got to do with me?
I got a man.
I'm not trying to hear that. What am I? Some crabbing mate that just came home from jail sweating you for a date? I don't want no beef, I just want to get together.
On how you talking? Psh, whatever.
We can't have nothing.
It all depends.
Well, if we can't be lovers, then we can't be friends.
Well, then I guess it's
Well,
nothing.
hey, I think you're
Well,
bluffing.
I'ma call my man.
Well, I can get ragamuffin. You better catch a flashback. Remember, I'm not crabbing it. You know my style from I'm not having it.
All I remember is an excuse me, miss. You can't get a girl like me with a line like this.
Well, look, I treat you good.
My man treats me
I
better.
talk sweet on the phone.
My man writes love letters.
I'll tell you that I want you and tell you that I care.
My man says the same except he's sincere.
Well, I'm clean cut and dapper. That's what I'm about.
My man buys me things and he takes me out.
Well, you can keep your man, cause I don't go that route.
Don't you know you have to respect me?
There's a lot of girls out there who won't say no.
You have to mind me with your DJ money.
Boom, batter, my pockets is getting fatter. I wanna turn you on and excite you. Let me know the spot on your body and I'll bite you. So when your man don't treat you like he used to, I kick in like a turbo booster. You won't love and you don't have to ask when. Your man's a headache, I'll be your aspirin. All confusion, you know I'll solve them.
I got a man.
You got a what? How long you had that problem? What your man got to do with me?
I got a man.
I'm not trying to hear that, see?
I got a man.
What your man got to do with me?
I got a man.
I'm not trying to hear that.
I got a man.
Hey, yo, baby, put it down, no preservatives and
I got a
additives.
man.
I told you I treat you right.
I
Oh,
got
come
a
on, now
man.
ain't no cute shit front.
I'm not
Come
having
on, miss. Oh, we back on that again. I'm not trying to hear that, see?
I got a man.
But your man ain't me.
I got a man.
You got a what?
I got a man.
You got a what?
What's up, man? Hey, yo, what's going on, yo? I'm sick and tired of 5-0 running up on the block, you know what I'm saying? Yo, Snow, they came around looking for you the other day. Word, bust it.
Informer, you know say that I'm a stormy, I go blame. I like you bum bum down. Take the man that say that I'm a stormy, stab somewhere down the lane. I like you bum bum down. Informer, you know say that I'm a stormy, I go blame. I like you bum bum down. Take the man that say that I'm a stormy, stab somewhere down the lane. I like you bum bum down. Please tell them I don't come in and they blow down my door. Rain it could pour through my window, so they put me in the back the car at the station. From that point on, I reached my destination. Where the destination region out of east detention. Where I look down my pants, look up my bottom. So informer, you know say that I'm a snowman, I go glam. I like it boom boom down. Take the man that say that I'm a snowman, stop somewhere down the lane. I like it boom boom down. Informer, you know say that I'm a snowman, I go glam. I like it boom boom down. Take the man that say that I'm a snowman, stop somewhere down the lane. I like keep on bum down, so big on them all, they think them have more power. They on the phone, me say they wanna war me for once I use it once and now me call me lover. Love who me calling on the one tell me, and me lover in my heart down to my belly. Yes, and I'm a stomach, I feel cool and deadly. It's the one MC Shine and the one that is snow. Together we all have 'em, it's a tornado. Informer, you know say that I'm a snowman, I go glam. I like keep boom boom down. Take the man that say that I'm a snowman, start somewhere down the lane. I like keep boom boom down. Informer, you know say that I'm a snowman, I go glam. I like keep boom boom down. Take the man that say that I'm a snowman, start somewhere down the lane. I like keep boom boom down. So listen for me, you better listen for me now. Listen for me, you better listen for me now. Bring me the rubber, the microphone, but rock and stay. You see that I'm a snowman, yeah, the art to cut down, but I'm not in and out the dance. I mean say where you come from. People them say you come from Jamaica, but me born and raised in the ghetto, don't know what tell for no. Pure brown people, man, is all I'm on. No, yeah, my shoes and them tear up and my toes just a show. When me a ballin' on the one Toronto, so informer, you know say that I'm a snowman, I go glam. I like it boom boom down. Take the man that say that I'm a snowman, stop somewhere down the lane. I like it boom boom down. Informer, you know say that I'm a snowman, I go glam. I like it boom boom down. Take the man that say that I'm a snowman, stop somewhere down the lane. I like it boom boom down. Come with a nice young lady, intelligent, yes she jungle in Ari. Everywhere me go, me never left for a tally. You say that it's no me, I the rum dance man. Rum it in a dance, I in a nation. You never know, say that I'm a snowman, I the boom shaka. Tell me never lay you down flat, and now one can't board bounce. You say that I'm a snowman, I go reaching at the top. So informer, you know, say that I'm a snowman, I go blame. I like you boom boom down. Take the man that say that I'm a snowman, stop stumble down the lane. I like you boom boom down. Informer, you know, say that I'm a snowman, I go blame. I like you boom boom down. Take the man that say that I'm a snowman, stop stumble down the lane. I like you boom boom down. Why would?
Me sitting round coolin' with my dibby girl. Police knock my door, lick up my pal, rough me up and I can't do a thing. Pick up my line when my telephone ring. Take me to the station, black up my hands, trail me down 'cause I'm hanging with the snowman. What I'm gonna do? I'm backed in a trap. Slap me in the face and took all of my gap. They have no clues and they wanna get warmer, but Shan won't turn informer.
Informer, you know, say that I'm a snowman, I go glam. I like you boom boom down. Take the man that say that I'm a snowman, stop somewhere down the lane. I like you boom boom down. Informer, you know, say that I'm a snowman, I go glam. I like you boom boom down. Take the man that say that I'm a snowman, stop somewhere down the lane. I like you boom boom down. Giddly dong, giddly dong, damn boy. Ing boy, ing boy, ing boy.
There we go. A little bit of snow this past weekend.
It was snow.
Yeah, but then the sun came out and I didn't have to wipe any of it off the car. So I was all
haven't.
set.
I haven't seen this white stuff.
You have not
So-
seen the, well, no, because you can't see.
No, well, there has been no white stuff outside. I'm the whitest thing around, sir. Honestly. And in Hayward, you know that's probably true.
That is, yeah. Hayward, ever since I left Hayward, there's been a lot less snow, I think is what we're talking about. Is that? Yeah, snow.
Yeah. No, it rained like once, but not recently. It's like in the 60s. I mean, today was like 65. I'm cold, but you know.
That's right. I remember the days of living in an area where people freaked out about rain like it was snow.
Dude, it rained for a week. We've actually had this year. We actually have had rain that reminded me of the East Coast. I was like, wow, this is really good. This is great. And everybody's like, oh my God, we're all gonna die. And I was like, oh, okay. I stood outside in it and said, well, it's still freaking cold as crap rain, but it's cool. And they're like, oh my God, we're going to die.
I mean, I'm not going to say
we couldn't use any of our highways or anything.
I'm not going to say that the concept of being careful driving in rainy weather never came up growing up in Jersey. Certainly there was a chapter about it in driver's ed class.
But you learned how to drive.
But it wasn't something that you were normally like, hey, you really got to be careful in that rain. It was just rain. And so then when I got to California, people were like, oh, be careful out there. It's raining. I was like, yeah, and?
No, the dumb thing is people are like, it's raining, we go faster, there's less friction, let's go! Woo! And then they run into people and are like, oh, I wonder why I ran off the road and hit 6 other people. And I wonder why the streets have 6 inches of rain on it. And I'm like, oh my God, you guys. And if they would fit the damn potholes, you wouldn't have the freaking lakes in the middle of the streets. You know, I mean, can you imagine A Street in rain? It's like little lakes everywhere. It's like the 1,000 lakes or something.
So we have not heard from Brian.
What? Where's Brian? Where is he? Do we know?
I don't know where Brian is, but I've done a little observing because we last heard from him when he couldn't make the show on December 16th because of the nonprofit agency issue. And then after that, we didn't do a show for Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And then New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And no, Christmas Eve, and New Year's Eve. You know, basically, I was busy baking and busy doing things. So we didn't do those shows 2 weeks, and you were visiting family. So last week, I messaged him, and that private message has still not been seen, because Twitter tells you if it's been seen or not.
Oh, mine doesn't, but okay.
So, yeah, so it says sent. It doesn't say seen, because December 16th, which we replied to, says seen. January 6th says sent. So he has not looked at Twitter in over a week, which good for him, man. You know, I wish I could go a week without looking at Twitter.
Well, now I have Twitter, I have Mastodon, Blue Sky, so I have 3 now to look at.
Yeah, and we'll pause for doing snarky comment to himself, and and whatever. I just all I know is it's not the same. It's not the same. It's ever since it turned into what it is now. It's just not. But Dune's probably busy working anyways.
I don't know. I haven't gotten a single message since I put something up there. I wonder if my chat's broken.
Although I hate it when people delete exchanges on Twitter, and because then it leaves your orphan responses in there with no context.
It's okay.
Oh, I know. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it.
That's when you retweet it, so it actually has the comment in there when you message them.
Well,
you can do
if I did a comment and retweet to basically
Yeah.
include it in there.
Yeah.
To basically it's there for. Well, no. Basically, I guess Dune would rather have not commented on my tweet. I'm like just waiting for the next 5
Gators,
minutes.
did he block you? Did you say something?
No. He said something, and then he backed out because he was. We talked about this last week. It was about the.
Was I here?
Yeah, and
okay.
You were about to go for some coffee, and I assured you we weren't going to talk about it, and then we didn't, but that's okay. Although I'm hoping Sparky. No, I do not want HP Smart to make changes to my device.
Wait, I have an update. I don't have an HP Smart. I have a Brother Laser.
I don't have an HP Smart either, so I don't know why it's trying to make changes to my computer. What the hell do I have HP that I?
Oh no, you know what I have that's HP? My next door neighbor. I've updated their scanner printer thing 3 times. Yeah, they have firmware updates, so I updated their firmware. Then they're next door.
No, the only printer I have is a Zebra, and I have an Epson.
That's a little
scanner.
bitty printer, isn't it?
Yeah, it's for UPS labels, so I could slap them on the box, walk up to a counter and say, no, I don't need a receipt, and walk away.
I walk up there and say, can you give me a label so you can show me where the line numbers are and I can do it here.
Yeah. And the only thing I have HP is a really old scanner that I actually have a third-party software that works with.
Hey, bye, bro. Hey, Dune.
Drivers and so long. Uh-oh, Dune is here.
Yeah, I told you he's here. He sent a message about blue, people.
Dune writes, it sucks to see all sides, I guess. Go to blue-gray. It's a safe space for you. It has nothing to do with seeing sides. It has to do with how it turned into, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I think everyone ruined Twitter, but basically, Twitter tried to have some fact-checking policies in place, and I'm not even going to touch that with a 20-foot pole right now. All I'm going to say is that one person didn't like the fact-checking policies that a company had, and that one person decided to buy the whole company so he could set all the rules to his liking.
Well, isn't that what you do if you had the money?
No.
I mean, Gators?
I have better things to do with my time than trying to dominate the world. Like buy a lake house and chill. So my recommendation to people that buy social media platforms to control the websites that they like is to maybe buy a lake house and go fuck off and leave us alone.
Wait. I have a question for you.
You have a question for me?
Yes. If you bought a social media site like Twitter or Mastodon or Blue Sky, okay, this is an if. This is if. What if?
If, okay, all right.
Would you change it?
I wouldn't buy
Silence.
it.
Huh?
Well, I'm not even trying to answer that question because I'm still on figuring out how to get the concept of the if in my head. Because, like, what changes would I make to... I mean, basically, if I were to buy Twitter, you know what the change I make to Twitter is?
What?
I'd put it back to being Twitter.
Yeah, I would rewind 5 years. I'd say, okay, 5 years. This is what it was 6 years ago. I want my API keys so I can use alter programs, and that's about it. All I care about, actually, because I just hate the website. But that's
There
me.
was absolutely not one-sided fucktard censoring on Twitter. There was fact-checking.
Uh-huh.
And I don't think fact-checking is a bad thing. But some people who don't like facts seem to think that, well, you're blocking our less than...
Gators, I will tell you, I have never been censored on Twitter, ever.
I've never been censored on Twitter either.
Okay. Okay. Just remember, when you write all caps, people look at it.
Anyways, that's not what we're here to talk about, because Mars is going to go get coffee if Dude calls in. And you know what? If Dude calls in, I might go get coffee.
Oh, that's nice of them to vacuum upstairs right now. Great.
Well, someone's got to clean this place up.
Well, I don't know. They're running in the walls and stuff. They're just like me.
Oh, maybe it's a what's those things? Those Roomba.
Roomba?
Maybe they got a Roomba.
Actually, you know which one I want? And they showed this at CES. I want the what's it called? The rock. What is it called? I can't remember the name of the. It's the name of a Roomba competitor, right?
Okay.
And it has an arm on it that'll pick your socks up for you and move them to somewhere, so it doesn't roll over them.
Okay.
The Roborock.
The Robo. I didn't realize there was a competitor to.
There's
Roomba.
a ton of different ones that they're like, Oh, okay. Yeah, the Roborock at CES, and they have an arm that picks up your socks or anything. But my Roborock would pick up dryer sheets.
Up socks and dryer sheet. Oh, you have a Roborock.
No, I won't. But I'm not buying it. It's like number one's not out yet. But what it is,
you're saying if you did, it would pick up your dryer sheets.
Yeah, because that's the only thing that's ever on my floor, the damn dryer sheets. Because I always have like 3 or 4 of them on the floor somewhere.
Well, my cats like the dryer sheets. I would throw them away, but then what would the cats roll around on? So whenever I get a new load of laundry up from the basement, I take the nice new fresh dryer sheet, and it's like, hey kitty, hey, look at this, and I toss it over to them, and they roll around it a bit and make themselves smell like dryer sheet, I guess. I don't know.
So have you ever thought about getting catnip smelling dryer sheets? All your clothes will smell like catnip, and the dryer sheets will smell like catnip too, and the cats would not know what to do.
I don't know. That would be. I don't need to make my clothes smell like catnip. I
mean, Dude could throw sprinkle catnip on his front step, right?
Socks smell like catnip. Then all the neighborhood cats will come running up to him.
I have a question. I can't see, as you know, but Dude did put some tweets up. What is the picture of a cat in a printer box about?
I don't know what that's about.
Is that his cat in a printer box, or is that a different cat?
It is now.
And then there's a cat on a lap.
And not only that, then he went and he bought 120 chicken nuggets and 13 hot mustard dipping sauces. I don't know.
There's nothing wrong with that. Right. That's called lunch, sir. Now I don't know why he only got 13 dipping sauces.
Yeah, you're gonna need a little more hot mustard with all those chicken nuggets. I'm thinking.
Well, apparently they have a habanero one at McDonald's now.
A habanero one.
Yeah, I've never seen it. Someone told me about it. I'm like, okay.
I
Throw this with
might have to go
habanero.
buy some chicken nuggets. I'm like, oh wow, you like chicken? No, I want try the habanero sauce.
You just go there and ask for the habanero sauce. Go on DoorDash. Go to McDonald's.
Well,
and
I'm not gonna.
say,
You
just-
gotta dip something in it.
Well, I don't know. Your finger.
No,
Something else in the fridge. I don't know.
I'm getting
toe?
chicken nuggets.
I don't know. Okay, chicken nuggets.
And then
But
also,
McDonald's chicken nuggets are really not that good anymore.
and I had to ask the question: did Dune buy the shirt? Did Dune buy the shirt that he retweeted the picture of?
I didn't know what the shirt was.
Oh, it's. You didn't get Windows Eye to tell you what the. I want to hear what Windows Eye would
Windows.
describe the
If
shirt
there is no
as.
Windows Eye anymore, guys. There's no Windows Eyes.
Whatever you use to get a picture described to you, we gotta hear how this picture's described to you.
Oh.
I-
I'll have to look it up and see. I don't have any other screen reader that will read AI
there's
screen
some-
reader stuff on my PC. So
There's it. Well, I will say that there's Winnie the Pooh is in the image, and we know that Winnie the Pooh loves honey, and
well, he
you
also
know,
goes poo, as they call it.
You know, honey is a dipping sauce because you might dip something in honey, or you might put honey on something if dipping is not the most convenient option, and then the sauce
You used to be able to
helps
get, I used to be able to get honey.
enhance the experience of.
You used to be able to get honey over at McDonald's, didn't you? Honey, or was it McDonald's or Jack in the
Yeah,
Box? It's one of the two.
but I don't think McDonald's is serving what Winnie the Pooh's about to snack on with his honey dipping sauce. Oh, and there's also some nice daisies in the image too.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go.
Now, Mod Pro only buys their hash browns.
Oh, McDonald's. I used to buy their burgers when they were the Angus beef ones. They had the Angus beef ones #1 for a while, and that
the
was
Angus,
amazing.
Yes, with Dr. Angus. Like
Those
this
were
is-
amazing, and then they got rid of them, and it was I didn't know it was short lived, and I went down to get one. They're like, we don't have those. I'm like, well, what am I gonna get here now? You guys, all your food sucks.
Now,
Wow.
Mod Pro doesn't buy anything from McDick's. Except that.
The
Except the
hash
hash
browns. Yeah.
McDick's.
Yeah. Mickey D's.
I'm just trying to think of a good.
I mean,
thing
I
on
like
that.
honestly, if I'm gonna get something fast food, it's Wendy's or it's I don't know, there's something else around here. Oh, I'll probably go to Five Guys.
I
or
guess that is
something.
another use for the dipping sauce, but no. Well,
Yeah.
Mod Pro, we call it
Well-
McDick's, Johnny.
Well,
Yes,
I think
was trying
Australia
to come
calls
up.
it Macca's, right?
I was trying to come up with a way to have some fun with that pun and work the dipping sauces into there. That's why I was hesitating.
Doesn't Australia call it Macca's?
Macca's.
Yeah.
Now, Mod Pro would rather go to South Street Burger, Chick-fil-A, or
Oh.
Burger Priest.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A is pretty good. I just never go.
Oh, no, Mod
It's
Pro.
not far enough. Huh?
Mod Pro asking about the Dickens cider. Yeah, that's Dickens fruit stand with the apple orchard, and they have the nice fresh pressed cider. And every year, it's always good to go have a nice Dickens cider over there at Dickens, just off Route 69, out there in.
You're looking for the promo, aren't you?
just
the
a
commercial.
stone's throw from Cabo Cicante Lake. That's
Cicante Lake.
right down the road from Gothard's Tree Farm.
Oh,
Mod Pro ready to get. I've been to Massachusetts. Okay.
okay. I don't know if I've ever been to Massachusetts. I might have. I probably drove through it.
Mod Pro's passing on. I guess she's passing on going to Gothard's Tree Farm.
Yeah.
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 That's. Anyways, hopefully, Sparky get here at some point because there's been a bit of an issue. Remember some months ago, Sparky said that there was a sound issue, and everyone else said that there wasn't a sound issue, and now here's the thing. Usually when someone says, hey, I can't hear you, there's a sound issue, what immediately comes to mind is catastrophic issue. And so when everyone says, no, we can hear you, and I pull up the sound feed to test it, and I hear my voice come back, and it's coming through, it's like, okay, there's not a catastrophic sound issue. I don't know what you're talking about. And if there's some minor thing going on that, I'd have to listen longer, this is not the time to troubleshoot it. So we put a pin in it. Plus, everyone else said they didn't hear it. But then, like, maybe some weeks or a month ago, I was listening. Wait, my pro writing in the end, no thanks. Wait, what? Is my pro mad at someone?
No.
Well, but she's got family.
She just does. Yeah, she doesn't want to go to Gothard's Tree Farm.
Oh, Gothard's Tree Farm.
Yeah.
Oh, but we like Gothard. Gothard's not Brian.
Gothard's cool. Yeah,
and we like Brian.
Yeah. Where is he, Brian?
I don't know. He's not checking the Twitters. I don't know.
I could text him, but I don't want to.
Why not?
Oh, I just don't want to.
I don't know. Maybe he's ordering some horse dewormer off his laptop. But anyway, so Dune said he'd be an Instagram link. Oh, dear. Do I dare click it? Yeah, it's from Dune. It should be safe. I'm sure it won't affect
It's always safe if Dune clicks it.
Oh, Cumin's cider.
Yeah, there you go. That one works too.
Now, I am on the record as making the joke that I like to pronounce the spice cumin as cumin. And now Dune sends me this Cumin cider t-shirt, and I say it cumin just to ruin his joke.
No, I got it. Cumins was actually better said with that one than the other one. So
Cumin cider.
I think that one's great. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. No, that's a good one. I might have to buy that shirt, and I might have to buy Dude the Winnie the Pooh shirt.
Are you gonna wear that shirt on Tuesday to work?
Inside out.
Inside out, I see.
Actually, I could wear it tomorrow to work because this is the third week of the month, so I work from home on Tuesday and go in on Wednesday.
Oh, so you're going Winnie the Pooh tomorrow then?
And yeah, and Wednesday is the post Christmas party, so I guess I could wear it there. No, I couldn't.
I mean, you could, but
HR might find out about it.
I don't know. Does HR control Christmas parties?
It's a work function. Not only that, it is mandatory.
Wait. Is it on your general campus of work?
No, but it is a work function that is mandatory, which means if you choose not to go to the holiday party, you have to take the time off.
I mean, you might as well go.
You could either get paid to party with an open bar, or you could use your vacation time to skip out.
I might as well just. I don't drink, but I'd get to the party anyway.
There's going to be some putt-putt, so we got that to look forward to.
You can putt-putt too.
Yeah, the putt-putt.
So you said there's Chipotle there.
Chipotle?
Yeah, you said you're putt-putting. Never mind.
Not that
Never
kind of
mind.
putt-putt.
Yeah.
No, it's the Cumin cider type of putt. No, wait, wrong.
Wow, if it's making that noise, you get some problems, boy.
Do a little putt. I don't know.
No.
I'm just not really coming up with the good pun jokes this week.
It's okay. It's the Cumin cider was pretty good. It's
all right.
Fine. You said it right. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I said it right by saying it wrong.
Exactly.
Okay. I think we're
Except you actually said it right.
Right. Except I think it was actually spelled Cumin spelled with one M, and the T-shirt had two M's. So I was just wrong.
It's okay. It's okay.
That's okay. Dune could take me saying I was wrong there and use that to edit the show to a version that's more pleasing to. I should. Again, it's about the jokes. It's not about the content. I think I say it.
Sure.
Now,
Mod
speaking
Pro
of,
said she, oh, go ahead.
no, I don't know. I was
just gonna say Mod Pro just said she had family in Boston. She should go visit.
she should visit, and then I could visit, and then she could introduce me to her family in Boston.
Oh, that would work out.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'm the weird guy on the internet that she listens to sometimes.
She didn't say no. Did you notice that? She said lol.
She did
didn't
not say no.
She did not say no.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, anyways, as I was saying, Sparky suggested there was a sound issue. Everyone said he was crazy. I pull it up. There's no sound issue. But then at some point, I'm listening back, and I have noticed that since that time when Sparky mentioned the sound issue, that there have been occasional dropouts in my audio on the show. And I was like, maybe that's what Sparky was talking about that time. And then, me with my typical ADHD mind was like, ooh, something shiny just went over there. And I wadded off and didn't think about that. But every now and then, if I listen back to a part of a show, I hear a dropout. I'm like, I really need to think about that at some point. And then, ooh, something shiny. Ooh, piece of candy. Or,
Yeah. Piece of candy.
Piece of candy.
Piece of candy.
Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy.
That show's not the same anymore.
But Sparky Toaster has done a good job of keeping me honest here by putting a list of timestamps of every dropout in last week's show and the comments on the YouTube post of it.
Wow!
And YouTube is nice enough to make them clickable links to come to every one so I can listen to every dropout in
I have a
last
question.
week's show.
I have a question.
You have a question?
Yes. Is it YouTube dropping out or Twitch or both?
Well, given that Sparky's identified them on the YouTube side, and I can hear them on the YouTube side, and Sparky's listening to us through Twitch, I'd say it's got to be both, because Sparky's hearing it on Twitch and confirming it on YouTube.
I just thought he had like 4 other tabs going at the same time, so it's using all the bandwidth.
Right, but it's actually on the recording, so it's not his bandwidth. It's not him being crazy. Everyone else is crazy, and he's the only normal one. And about this.
Okay.
So anyways, the point is that, I was already kind of onto that and was meaning to think about that, but Sparky kind of forced the issue. Like, hey, dude, you had 25, fuck tons of dropouts this week, and here
maybe
they all
your
are.
upload just isn't as good as it,
in a list for you. So I now he mentioned that he thinks that maybe there's a problem with the board, because I don't know if I didn't actually go through and listen to all of them. I listened to a few of them, but I don't think he's talked about you having dropouts, just me. So if it's only me dropping out, then it's either got to be...
It could be your upload bandwidth, right?
It could be... Well, I don't know if it's bandwidth, because I got a pretty big fucking pipe, but it could be something to do with my stream out of the computer up into... Basically something between my mouth and my data going into StreamYard servers, because your data is getting into StreamYard servers perfectly fine. My data is getting into StreamYard server with a problem that presents as a dropout, and the dropout sounds of the choppy variety, like it's a digital data thing, not an analog scratchy connection thing. So I don't think it's anything between my mouth and the wire that delivers the signal into the computer.
I don't know. I'm wireless too. I don't have a wire connected to my router, so.
Well, I'm talking about an audio wire.
Yeah. I know.
But I also am wired to my router to maximize my bandwidth and not be relying on a Wi-Fi signal. But that's not even the. So I suspect right now the logical culprit would be my browser.
Oh.
And
Which one do you use? You use Chrome, right?
I use Brave, which is a Chromium-based browser, but it's not Chrome. It's Brave.
Okay.
And I also have a bunch of tabs open in Brave.
How many plugins do you have in Brave on?
whatever comes with its stock. I haven't really added any because I like
okay.
There are people that customize and add ad blocking add-ins to Brave.
I do that.
But Brave out of the box blocks anything I want it to block. I've not ever had a need to add on to Brave's out of the.
I use uBlock Origin for Firefox, but that's about it.
Well, for Firefox, but Brave is already out of the box blocking things, and Brave I've found to be the most effective thing for blocking YouTube ads. And the problem is, if I start adding other ad blocker add-ins to Brave on top of Brave's own blocking, that's more things for YouTube to detect. And YouTube has gotten really bitchy that when it detects that you're blocking ads, it puts up a bitchy screen like, how dare you? You are in
I haven't
violation
seen
of our
those.
term of. I've only seen it a few times, but usually you just turn off. But basically, I've found that Brave automatically added in the add-ins that I was using in Chrome because Brave saw I had them in Chrome and was like, oh, for your convenience, we'll set yourself up to be the same as Chrome. And it's like, no, I don't want AdBlock Plus or whatever. So I took it out of Brave, and that helped. Because like I said, Brave itself is blocking everything beautifully for me. I don't need anything more. But every now and then YouTube detects Brave's blocking ads and throws up the you are in violations of the terms of service, and I'm like, fuck you, YouTube. I never agreed to sit and watch. I choose what's on my computer. I choose what content I want to watch, not you. So you can fuck off with your ads, and
Oh.
Basically, you can whine and cry about that's what you need to do to make money as a business. That's not my problem. I'm not the CEO of YouTube. I'm not the CEO of Google. Not my problem. That sounds like a YouTube problem.
You won't be in that house in Boston if you're a CEO of YouTube. Gonna sell you. Just saying.
If I was a CEO of YouTube, I'd probably put a bullet in my head.
Oh. I mean, okay. I don't know about that.
Who wants that stress, and who wants to, be able?
No, you're the CEO. You tell other people what to do. You don't have to do it. Other people do it for you. That's the thing about being a CEO. You're like, oh yeah, I agree. Do that.
I don't know. Maybe I'd be the CEO for a week, take my week's pay, and retire.
You think you only need a week to retire as CEO of YouTube?
Probably. How much does the CEO of YouTube make in a week? Let's see. The CEO of YouTube makes $1,579 per week. Really?
Is that all?
That's all?
Huh?
Well, they make a lot of their money with stock deals and things like that.
Well, I mean, YouTube is Google, so. I mean, just saying.
That's the thing. These billionaires, these CEO billionaire executives, they don't make their billions and their salary. They make that with other shenanigans too. Well, actually, I was listening to it. The real scam is a lot of people they live on loans that's based on I'm bad at repeating things I'm bad at repeating complicated things that podcasts have laid out.
Okay.
But there's a lot of shady shit that goes on with the
Thank God you make millions off this show.
Thank God for that.
Thank God for millions.
I don't know. We should probably point out that is absolutely a joke. And why do I want to point out that's a joke? Just in case the IRS starts thinking that there's any truth to it because we said so.
Oh, it is tax season, isn't it?
That'd be hilarious. Like the IRS audits me because they think I'm making millions on this channel because of us joking about it. Where are you hiding
my
it?
profits? I think I made $60 in the last 7 years. Yeah.
Yeah, $60 in the last 7 years is what this show has made.
Yeah. I didn't even get a W-2 for that thing. Thank you.
I did pay tax on that.
Did you really?
I think
Did you really?
I got a W-2 from Twitch. So
Did you really?
yeah.
You made $60.
$60 is $60.
I want to. Did you have to actually
I
claim
included
that?
in the paperwork that I sent to my dad. He included in my annual income, so I paid taxes on it.
Did you really? You had to claim that? I get W-2s I don't claim.
I keep everything on the up and up. I pay my fair share.
I think it's under 100. If it's under like $100, I usually don't claim it, but it depends.
Yeah.
They're gonna make me start claiming my PayPal, and I'm like, that's gonna be fun. We'll see.
I don't know if I claimed the turntable I sold on eBay, but I made no profit off of that. So I sold it at a loss, actually. Within the same year, I think, too. So
Okay. How many turntables do you have now? Do you have the same ones downstairs? Do you get new ones?
I haven't bought any new turntables in a long time. I mean,
How about a new the needly thing?
needle
Pokey thing that goes to it, yeah, the pokey thing.
The pokey.
The pokey thing that makes the record make the noise.
Well, what about it? I don't.
Did you
know
buy
which
new
one you're
ones of
talking
those? Did you buy fancy gold or red ones or blue ones or black ones or silver ones? Titanium?
about. No, I haven't bought any new styli in a while.
No titanium pokey things?
No titanium pokey things. No. Actually, I'm a bit pissed because the turntable I use for the 5-hit show, I had set up the cartridge of the stylus on that, and after I was done with the show, I flipped the stylus guard down to protect it, and I put it back on the shelf, and I walked away.
Is it orange on yours, Summer? Ours used to be orange.
That particular one was orange because it's one of the cheaper Audio-Technica styli, so it's a
ours is probably cheap too.
It's not a Shibata or a line.
I don't know if we actually ever put the orangey thing down on
contact.
it, honestly.
So I put the stylus guard down, and then I go to take the cartridge off of the turntable and put it someplace safe a few weeks later, and I find that even though the stylus guard was down and was protecting the stylus, something damaged the stylus. So, but at least it was one of the cheaper ones. So, but still,
Well, can you take a pair of needle nose pliers and straighten it?
it broke it clear off.
Use some duct tape, some super glue.
I don't even know where the
Some JB
cantilever
Weld?
and stylus ended up. The only thing that was left was the plastic clip that.
You're gonna find it one day when you walk barefoot. You'll be like, "Oh, I found
the
a
Roomba
stylus."
probably picked that right up.
I'm sure it did. Check the Roomba. Yeah.
I don't even have a Roomba anymore. That's how easy it is for a Roomba to vacuum that up. But
What's your Roomba?
well, I haven't had a Roomba in a long time.
Did you break it? Did you throw it away?
It broke. Actually, I think we took. Oh yeah, we did bring it with us to Hayward because I remember we used it when moving out of Oakland.
And there was a lot of all the dust from Hayward probably killed it.
Yeah, well, like the sensor broke in it that would help it sense the edge in the floor. So anytime I turn it on, all it would do is spin around looking for floor to move forward on because it thought it was on an island that had a cliff all around it. And so I reached out to Roomba support about getting it serviced or repaired or fixing it. And they said, well, you have to buy a new one. And I said, well, no, I'm not going to buy a new one. So what do I do?
Go buy a Robo-Rock with a sock arm.
So I like, heck, I didn't even get 5 years out of that Roomba.
It's like, hey, Robo-Rock, find me a sock. Thank you.
And it didn't even work that good. That's the thing. It did not work well. It had no logical method to ensure it carried the whole floor, covered the whole floor, because it would just move in a straight line till it hit obstruction, and then
you didn't have the LiDAR, the fancy one.
It would turn a random amount and move in another straight line, and it's just like, with a little bit of luck, it'll eventually cover the whole floor. But even when we moved out, and then it would always get caught under the couch, and then even when we moved out of the apartment, like the last week we had the apartment when we were moving to Hayward and we had emptied it out, like one of our times we're there, we empty everything out and we're like, all right, well, let's, before we clean the carpet, let's give it a good vacuuming. So we'll turn on the Roomba, we'll leave, and we'll come back tomorrow and see how the Roomba did. When we came back tomorrow, the Roomba was choking on a huge dust bunny in the middle of the bedroom. It didn't even make its way back to the charging base.
Oh, poor thing! It was stuck in your room and it couldn't
got
go home.
Actually, it wasn't choking on a dust bunny. I'm exaggerating. Basically, the point is that it got itself lost in a room and couldn't find its way back to the charging bay because it's supposed to come back to the charging bay when it's done before the battery dies. But it just kept bumping in the walls and could never find where the charging bay was. It had zero intelligence.
I feel bad for your poor roommate. It got lost and couldn't find its way home.
Yeah. So we had to pick it up and put it back on the charging base.
Hey, Sparky.
Sparky in the house. Now, Sparky has one very important job this week. So the point is of all that story, the whole point of all that is that this week I am running StreamYard from my Chrome browser instead of Brave.
Yeah.
Because I suspect the dropout problem is coming from my browser because I think it's of the digital laggy variety, and I think it's happening to me and not Mars. So that puts something on my computer as a likely culprit, and I have a big fucking pipe, and I have a powerful machine. So that has me targeting the browser. That for some reason the Brave browser is having some kind of a issue that it every now and then lags and causes some kind, because I even think the webcam reacts when the dropouts happen. So I'm running it out of Chrome, and if there's no dropout this week, then that proves the theory that the Brave browser has the dropout issue, not the Chrome browser. So yes, Sparky, you should listen for cutouts tonight.
I use Firefox.
I used to use Firefox. They're dead to me. Should we talk about things that are dead to me? I think we should talk about things that are dead to me.
Oh.
Because funny thing about the dead, they're texting me on my phone now.
That's cool. That's exciting. If I get text from my mom, I'm going to answer. I'm sorry. I'm just like, yo, that's cool. Hey, how's it up there? Is there something I need to know?
When the dead text you, it's never the dead you want to hear from. It's the dead that are actually still alive.
Oh. Okay.
No. So I had a friend. His name was Genocide Rob.
Rob sent you messages? This is exciting.
No, Rob is an example. I'd love to hear from Rob. Rob doesn't want to hear from me. Now, some years ago, the No Holds Barred Radio Network was a thing.
It's not?
And the server's dead.
The website's still there.
No Holds Barred Radio Network is only alive in the spirit and memories. But let's face it. I do a show. Dune does a show. We do shows. We have the friends, the memories, the people, those important things in life. That lives on. But as far as the concept of a radio network of a group of people sharing a stream that are all a part of this community, that's just not a thing anymore.
You should email that other place that won an NHB and say you can have the name now. Say, oh yeah, we're done with it. You can have it now if you want.
Not like we ever had any claim of it to keep it or give it to someone anyway.
Well, you guys did not get your W-2, so you really don't.
No, Sparky asking, is there a reason why Mars never cuts out? No, because I think the issue is between my browser sending my stuff up to StreamYard. Keep in mind, StreamYard is a central service. I give Mars a link. So I'm sending audio to StreamYard. Mars is sending audio to StreamYard. StreamYard sends the whole combined experience out to you. So we could go into further detail.
And I don't have a hugest upload. I got like 50 meg up, but that's about it.
So that helps us diagnose that the problem is somewhere around, somewhere between my mouth and StreamYard's reception of my signal. Because clearly when StreamYard has a signal, it's able to send out signal perfectly fine because Mars' signal's coming into them fine and they're sending that out fine. Yeah, so we know that it's something before StreamYard sends everything out to you guys. And to me, the likely culprit is the browser. Anyways, where was I?
Or your VPN.
So there used to be a show way back when in the Whole Radio Network. There was this guy, Gabe, who was pretty funny, and there was another guy there, too. And,
him?
Yeah, I used to talk to him. We used to, kind of talk. And I remember some time ago I would talk to him about Genocide Rob and about how, I really was, bummed out that because I stopped speaking to Genocide Rob. He didn't stop speaking to me. I stopped speaking to him. And I was very angry at him, and I had legitimate reasons to be angry at him. And it wasn't really about the anger, but it was more that the result of the anger that I had and the issues that I had put me in a position that I really didn't feel like dealing with him anymore. And so I was like, dude, I am sorry, Rob, but I can't do this anymore. Like, you've really pushed me away with your bull, because like he was angry about things that happened on the show. He wanted me to do things about the things he was angry about. He wanted me to go through review recordings and delete things. He wanted me to stop saying this or don't say that and don't do that. And it's at the point that, like, for how angry he got about these issues and how the effort he went to piss me off without caring about how much it was pissing me off just really made me feel like, fuck you, dude. Like, I don't, it just left me just not wanting to deal with him anymore. And so I kind of said, I think we've grown apart. I think we're going our separate ways. I really don't want to catch up with you next time I'm in Jersey, and I just don't want to hear from you. So, I wish you well and good. I kind of did. And I kind of regret dealing with it that way. I made it more dramatic.
Did you say it's not you, it's me?
Oh, it was him.
It's not me, it's you.
But I made it like, I don't hold anything against you. I don't hold any grudge. I just don't want to deal with you anymore. So I wish you well, and I wish you success and all the great things in life, but I wish it over there because I'm going to do this over here. Mm-hmm. Now, unfortunately, that's a very hurtful message to hear. So obviously I hurt Genocide Rob a great deal, which is really sad considering how much we were there for each other through our rough times in school.
I mean, he should have said that. He really should have, but
I should have said that. That? No. He was not involved with that incident. So yeah, I mean, because that's the thing is that me and Genocide Rob were both outcasts of our classes. He was in 5th grade, I was in 6th grade, and I always had trouble fitting in, and I kind of knew I was going to have trouble fitting in because I have trouble fitting in anywhere because people just don't get me, and I didn't care to get them, or it just didn't happen. And so when I saw he was struggling being an outcast of this class, I'm like, well there's my friend. That he's going to be my friend. And sure enough, I saw my opportunity to say, hey, don't let them get you, just screw them. What do you care about them anyways? They don't care about you. And he appreciated reaching out to him, invited me to his birthday party, and we kind of became inseparable throughout the rest of my time through 6th grade, through college, through the very beginnings of young adulthood. And then he was always more... I've told this story before, and the point wasn't the story. So, but he had a more, I guess we both kind of had blunt, off-putting personalities in ways. But I feel like he like his attitude towards working at Walmart was, you can't let the managers give you shit. You gotta, you gotta stand up to them, or they'll walk all over you.
Wait,
like
he worked at Walmart too, right?
He did work at Walmart.
Okay.
He also got fired from Walmart.
Okay, so that tells you how good his advice was.
Yeah. Well, his attitude was, because the disagreement we had at Walmart was, like, if you were hired to work in a certain department, and a manager asked you to cover somewhere else, we saw that as an annoyance because, like, if I'm working electronics, this is where I'm comfortable. This is where I know where stuff goes on the shelf. I know what this stuff is. I know how to answer questions. I know what I'm doing. But, we need coverage in housewares tonight. Jonathan, go cover housewares. Well, I have no fucking clue what I'm doing over there.
You just sell metal pans. It's fine.
And it's not rocket science, and a monkey could do this job, but still, it leaves you out of your element and feeling, and I took pride in my work. So you throw me in housewares, first of all, I don't know where anything goes, so it takes forever to put the returns back on the shelves because I got to walk up and down the aisles to get some kind of flow into where things are, and then people are asking questions about things, and I'm basically reading the box to them, but. Sparky wants to know what the best kind of frying pan to use when making fried eggs.
I say an iron skillet. Always iron. Cast iron.
I generally find the cheapest non-stick pan that Amazon has to offer because they may as well be disposable pans because that non-stick surface is going to not last much more than 3 years if you're lucky anyways.
I throw mine in a cup and
go cheap.
I throw mine in a cup and put it in the microwave. Like you're saying.
And I think that the non-stick surface might be toxic, but hey, whatever don't kill you.
Yeah. You mix it with cheese, though. You can't just have standard eggs. You got to mix it with cheese, yeah.
And this is why I should not be put in the housewares department.
We just sell cups. Say, yeah, you want eggs? Here's a cup.
Here's a cup. Throw an egg in the cup, put it in the microwave.
Yeah.
You're good.
Minute and a half, you're done.
Yeah. Oh, no, I forgot to tell them they should take the egg out of the shell before putting it in the microwave in the cup.
You know what? That makes for a better experience.
If you're going to microwave an egg in its shell, poke a hole in it first.
Don't tell them that. You can ruin the experience.
Then I'll send them over to Paper Goods and Chemicals to buy some Windex to clean out the inside of the microwave.
Hey, that's their problem. If they can't... No,
I have not heard from Brian. I need to reach out to him. I've been very lazy this past week. I got to write a dissertation about 5 things. And I kid, but you're not demanding a dissertation. My brain is. My brain hurts. But
if you want to write a dissertation, then go to the final statement and say, okay, that's what they need.
I've been mulling over the question, and it turns into very long thoughts that would translate to way too much text. So I need to figure out how to pare things back. Where was I? So the point is that Genocide Rob's attitude was, if a manager asks you to work in a department that's not your department, you need to push back. Because if you don't push back, they're going to ask you to do that all the time, and they'll never leave you alone. And I'm like... because like they shouldn't be asking us to work on departments. We were hired to work in this department. I'm like, dude, what in the fuck?
You're hired to work, not to work in a certain department, guys.
We're assigned to a department, but we're hired to work wherever we're needed in
the
store.
If they need you in another area, they're going to say, hey, we requisition you to another department for tonight.
It's the manager's job to make sure that the store has the coverage where it needs to be, and that things are running like they need to be. But that was kind of his attitude towards life was don't let people walk over you. You need to and that's not, again, there are so many conflicting, contradicting messages in life, and really the reason for that is because you got to figure out when it's time to stand up and when it's time to back down. You got to find the balancing act. And the balancing act is, if you're working at Walmart and a manager's asking you to go work in another department because it needs to be covered, maybe that's not the time you need to take a stand. But that to me is the best way I can describe kind of Genocide Rob's MO and attitude towards life. And he wasn't always wrong about that. He was someone that knew how to stick up for himself, and he was someone that in some ways was dealt a poor hand. Our things in life make us who we are, and then you do something with that. And, you know, I think he's done well. Not that I've had much contact with him or know anything for sure, but, you know.
Have you stalked his Facebook at least?
No, I stopped. But here's the reason why I tell the story. Because some years ago, when I was talking to Gabe's co-host about how, like, because I some years later, after I moved, you know, kind of did the whole breakup with him thing, like, dude, I think I'm kind of done with you. You know, 5 years later, 10 years later, some years later, when you have someone that was a very big part of an important part of your life, you know, let's face it, coming of age, middle school, high school, college years, those are defining moments in life that make you who you are. And so your friends that were with you through that time, you might not stay in touch with them forever, but they certainly were a big part of your life and a big part of the part of your life that kind of set the stage for who you are becoming and who you are. So Genocide Rob, in the big picture of things, is always going to stand out as a big, important part of my life that I have a lot of positive things to say about. Even though in young adulthood we went our separate ways and I had a lot of negative things and feelings that left me not wanting to deal with him for that time. But, you know, 5-10 years kind of makes that anger towards the end there dissipate and kind of stand out as unimportant in the grand scheme of things. So there's a part of me that really felt like I really wouldn't mind being in touch with Genocide Rob. I mean, we're never going to be best as buddies hanging out all the time like we used to be. Clearly, our friendship was damaged and we moved in different directions, but we were both still very big parts of each other's lives. So I kind of reached out to him and I kept it simple. And I said, hey, look, in the grand scheme of things, I remember more good times than bad. Please give me a call sometime, and left my number. You know,
there you go.
I decided to keep it brief and just throw a number out there, and he blocked me.
You gave him the number to block.
He blocked my Facebook because he blocked my Facebook because that's where I sent the message through, was Facebook Messenger, and then Now, Sparky writes in, you know how you fix that issue? You go to the other department, you do one hell of a lousy-ass job at it, you never be asked to move department again. Or that's the other thing. In the grand scheme of things, it probably doesn't matter because as long as you work good enough to not get fired, you're probably just doing this Mick job until you get a real job.
I mean, like I said, it's Walmart,
But the other thing to keep in mind is that Walmart is a valid career path. There are senior management things.
Yeah.
There are all kinds of things. They have their own radio station. They have their own TV network.
Gators, you could have worked on the Walmart radio channel.
I didn't feel like moving to Bentonville, Arkansas. So
well, you're not that far now, are you?
Far enough.
Oh.
You couldn't pay me enough to live in Arkansas.
Well, they're probably not in Arkansas. You could probably do it from your seat now. Honestly, that's how all the other radio stations are.
Why
is from home.
Why is the state Dune lives in Kansas and the state Walmart came from Arkansas? Why is it not Arkansas? Explain, Internet. Sparky wants to know what the hell would Johnny do in Arkansas? What the hell does anyone do in Arkansas?
I don't know.
Anyways, the point is that you don't want to burn bridges. You want to treat everything like a possible bridge if you need it. Like there was a point in my life where I had no idea what I was going to do next, and I actually applied for a job managing the 1 hour photo department in the Walmart store because that opened up, and I was like, I wouldn't mind making enough money to move out of my parents' house, and I don't know if I don't think I want to work in a Walmart management path for the rest of my life, but if I could get some kind of money in a management position to get out of the house, get on my feet, and figure out the next step, I'll do it. And basically, the guy said, we're going with experience, but you interviewed very well. If you're serious about wanting to work 1 hour photo, I got openings for, standard employees in several of my stores. come work for me and prove yourself, and we could get you a management position somewhere. But I didn't feel like moving around to different
I
stores.
don't know. I'd like to work 1 hour a day. I mean, that'd be great.
Sparky Renegade Photoshop, yeah. Johnny interested in photo developing. Well, at that time, there was still film developing, but it was basically you load the roll into the machine, you push a button, and the machine automatically rolled it through, and out came the negatives. And it was someone else that came and periodically maintained the chemicals in the machine. So it was very automated. And heck, that was on its way out, because at some point it's just those kiosks with the card readers and the printers and the scanners and that type of stuff. Anyways, but so I reached out to Rob, and he blocked me. I reached out a few times. I really wanted to kind of let Rob know, Olive Branch, my door is open. I would like to be in contact with you again. And every effort I made to reach out was blocked. And so I was talking to Gabe's co-host about it one day.
Oh.
And he said something to me oh, well, I guarantee you. Now, you got to do everything I say. You got to follow my instruction. But I could get this guy to unblock you. I am the master of getting people.
Oh, he is.
Yeah. Well, when you get blocked as much as this guy does, you need to be the master of getting.
He just creates a new account.
Well, it's not just that though. He's got his. So he's like, what you do is no, don't reach out to him yet. And he was going to tell me what to do, when to do, how much time to leave in between to work his plan to get Genocide Rob to unblock me and to reach out to me again, or to respond to me. And you know what I did? I at first I was like, okay, I'm listening. But then that was around that time but then at some point, a week or two later, Gabe's co-host did something to piss me off, which he does a lot.
Okay.
And I blocked him.
Oh, which one?
Gabe's co-host.
Yeah, but which account did you block? Because
All
you
of
had
them.
65.
All
Oh,
of them.
you blocked. What? You probably just made another 600 after you did that.
I
right?
just kept blocking.
Okay.
Eventually he gave up.
Wow.
For that
I
week.
never blocked him. He never messaged me again.
But the point is that kind of made me realize I don't want to be that guy that's trying to manipulate people into unblocking. I sent my message.
Mm-hmm.
I extended my olive branch. I kind of said, howdy, I'm here over here if you ever want to talk to me again. And years have passed and that has not happened. I ain't working no plans with this guy. So, as I've talked about in the show, some months ago, Gabe's co-host reached out to me after probably a few years of us not being in contact.
Okay.
And wouldn't you know it, he wants to talk about coffee.
What? I understand.
And
What did he message the right person?
I just don't understand. The plights of a middle-aged white male. I just don't.
What? Talking about coffee? Wait. Excuse me, Gators. Excuse me.
Well, you see, we have such a refined palate of coffee that other people just can't understand.
Oh. I mean, he's not James Hoffman, but...
I feel like that's Addie's gripe with me. I just don't understand the plight of the middle-aged white man.
Oh.
That would be Addie's defense or criticism of my attitude towards coffee.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I see.
Yeah, Addie would say that I am racist against middle-aged white men. I
mean, you might be, but
I
think you have a right
suppose
to
all
be.
things are possible. I suppose all things are possible. But I don't think I am. I really don't think I am.
Well, I have a skit that comes to mind when I hear about that. I think of the Living Color sketch where what's his name was the KKK member, and it was one of the Wayans brothers.
Chappelle.
Oh, was that Chappelle? Chappelle.
The black white supremacist.
Yes, but no one knew until they took off his hood.
Right, because he was raised in a blind orphanage with mostly white kids, and they just decided to not tell him to avoid any problems, and so he grew up identifying in this culture he was raised in.
Yeah, that reminds me of that, but never mind.
I remember
Living Color was a great show, wasn't it?
It was. I remember the punchline of that sketch was about him leaving his wife of many years because she was a certain type of lover. Oh,
wow. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It was a good show. That was a good show too.
Chappelle
I didn't
show
watch
was
it
a
as
good
much as
show.
I in Living Color, but
Oh, I loved In Living Color.
yeah.
Yeah, until my brother kept getting in trouble, repeating things he heard on The Living Color, caused my parents to stop letting us stay up to watch In Living Color. And it's like, damn it!
Isn't that show on at 8?
He's the one that. Well, I don't. No, I thought it was on later than 8. It was.
It was on Fox on 8 o'clock, at like 8 o'clock.
Well, I mean, we let us stay up. They just wouldn't let us watch it.
Yes.
But the point is that when I blocked Gabe's co-host that time when he was coaching me to manipulate Genocide Rob, is that maybe much like I just want to be left alone, maybe Genocide Rob just wanted to be left alone. And
maybe.
I mean, I think it's fair to every so many years maybe extend an olive branch. And so maybe a year or two ago, I extended an olive branch in the form of friend requesting him on LinkedIn, and he blocked my LinkedIn account. So the grudge still stands. Genocide Rob still has made it clear he does not want to hear from me.
Do you know his address?
No.
Oh.
No, he's I mean, the last address I knew was when he was still living in his grandparents' house.
Well, I guess you could send a bottle of vodka to his grandparents and see what they do.
I don't even know if his grandmother's still alive.
Well, then someone's going to get a random bottle of vodka at the door.
So, the point is that Gabe's co-host really pissed me off because after the there was recently a large countrywide poll about coffee preferences, and I was I was rooting for one type of coffee, and I honestly don't know what type of coffee Addy was rooting for because he's such that antagonistic natured person. He'll make you think that he's rooting for the opposite coffee you're rooting for, and so at some point,
I think people have been sending link skaters just to let you know.
I could help people spell his last name, but again, this show is about people expressing desires to be left alone. And so, Addy, if you're out there listening tonight,
Well, you said his name.
I got your text. I'm not interested in talking turkey, and I wish you well in life.
But you wouldn't talk coffee, not turkey.
I don't want to talk turkey or coffee.
Sad. Well, there goes this show. I guess I could leave. I don't.
Oh, we could talk real coffee. I'm just not talking about that coffee.
Oh, okay.
Coffee
talk with it. With
those
adding gators.
Those orange coffee beans that some people almost love to a certain cult-like level.
Oh, that coffee.
That coffee.
Oh yeah, you talk about that. I will go get some coffee.
Rob and Addy are two different people. I don't want to hear from Addy. Rob doesn't want to hear from me. It was a parallel I was trying to set with these stories.
Okay, that works.
Someone that's being on both sides of this, realizing how much I just don't want to hear from Addie and want him to leave me alone kind of helps me understand why I should just back off and let Rob decide whether or not he ever wants to reach out to me. Wasn't there a song about that? Oh, my Fong, I think is what I wouldn't mind hearing from her.
Yeah.
We have each other's phone numbers. There's just not much of a
You
reason
guys are
for
Facebook friends, right?
We are Facebook friends. Every now and
Yeah,
then,
see?
if I see her post something, I hit a thumbs up on it. I don't necessarily need to hear from her, or because, well, the thing about me and my Fong is that we're in different generations and different. She's kind of family person, but mother of two in an older generation from me, and I'm so other than work, we weren't going to go hang out down the record store, or I don't even know what she would do in her spare time. Stuff for her kids probably. What spare time, she'd probably say. We talk tech at work. That was the extent of our friendship, and if we do cross paths, we're happy to see each other. But there's really I if I called her, I'd feel like that would be weird, because it's we're different. We're just in different circles. Or we could go to Chuck E. Cheese, I guess.
I think I closed that one near me.
I don't know. If I went to Chuck E. Cheese, they might look at me funny.
Why? No, what you gotta
Chuck E.
do
Cheese
is
is a place you bring your kids.
Gators. What you do is you take her to the round one over here now. They have a round one.
Round
you can
one.
do some karaoke. You can get some food.
Now, mind you, when I go to visit
some
California,
What?
Actually, I don't think I saw it last time I was in California. I didn't reach out to any of the
No, it's pretty new.
Parkonians.
It's pretty new. Yeah.
No,
it's over by the mall.
Sparky applied for a job there once, repairing their games, never got it. Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Repairing their
It's-
games.
Which says in walking distance of me. It's not that far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I last saw my Fong. Not my last trip. I only hung out with you and Brian. We didn't catch up with any other Tharkonians. But I think the trip before that, I went to dinner with my Fong. Me and Kristen went out, got some dinner with my Fong, caught up, had a little chat. But we're the type of friends that we really only need to catch up once every few years. Next time I need a reference on a job application, I got her on my speed dial.
There you go.
There you go. So maybe this year will be the year I talk to her again.
Oh. I see.
I'm happy where I am, so not really mean anything by that, but I'm also not moving up. And, I guess this could be a topic because, it's always awkward when you reach that point in life where you're happy at your job, but you're not at the career level you want to be, and you've been at your job for 5 years and no opportunity to move up has presented itself in those 5 years. And so it's like, do I stay here where I'm happy and keep waiting for an opportunity to move up? Or is it time to start putting the feelers out there and finding a way to move up elsewhere? And then that's hard to do because when people read my resume, they want to hire me to keep doing the same job I'm doing. They don't want to hire me to do something a level up from what I'm doing because I don't have that level up job experience on my resume. So that turns in and I don't feel like making a lateral move and hoping that something opens up there to move up, because any place that you talk to will say, oh yeah, we really love to help our employees grow and give them opportunities. But you're basically just circling around waiting for people to move. And it's like, I could do that here, I could do that there. And I know I'm happy here. I don't know that I'll be happy there.
True.
So I don't want to, and not to mention, I'm at a point in my career now where it's not easy to find another service desk job that pays what I'm making now.
Exactly.
You
In
know,
fact,
it's,
a lot of companies are sitting there laying people off so they don't have to pay as much either. So
right.
you know,
right.
you understand that one as well.
So I mean, like today, I actually got a call from a recruiter, and it was
Wow.
Well, I get them all the time, you know.
They moved. Gators, how's your Bangladeshi? You moved to India?
Nah, Tom from Tulsa.
Yeah.
I can say I'm Tom from Tulsa.
Yeah, that works. It works.
But anyways, but I can't put on an accent because that would probably not sound right.
You can try.
Try to fit in at the call center by putting on a fake accent. I'm sure the room full of people all love me.
You know, look at the white guy over here. Look what he's doing.
Yeah. I know. It seems like an Addy move. Anyways, so I got one of these recruiters that sent me a text, but the text included no information about the actual job listing they wanted to reach out to me to, and then called me, and then called a second time. And I'm like, oh, right, let's just make this quick and easy. So I picked it up, and I'm like, hey, this is John. This is Johnny Gators. You're live on the air. No, I didn't say that.
Did you do that? You could have.
I could have, but I didn't. And she said, yes, I'm calling. But I'm like, okay, contract or full-time? Usually that gets the conversation shut down pretty early.
Yeah, the watch contract.
Because most of the jobs that recruiters are calling me about are contract jobs.
Yeah.
And my answer is I currently have a full-time job.
Yeah, you want to stay full-time, not contract.
That I would never leave my full-time job for a contract. Plain and simple.
Yep.
You know, if you're calling with a contract position, you stop right there. If you're calling full-time, let's listen and get to the next one. And so she said, well, it's contract, but it's long-term with extension. It's contract to the end of the year. And I mean, we're in January, so we're talking a year-long contract, possible extension.
But still, it's contract. You know what's going to happen after this year.
And so I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
And also, it's a service desk contract you're quoting to me, so it probably isn't going to pay
what I'm making now.
Yeah,
exactly.
And so she says, well, what is your rate? And I gave her a number.
You told him. Yeah.
And that number was twice what the highest rate
She's
they were willing to pay.
Oh, never mind.
And so it's like, all right, so I worked into the conversation really quick up front, full time. This is my number that I am looking to make. You find me something that meets those two things, and we'll talk. But,
yeah, she was probably like, damn, I don't know about that one. We'll do the easy ones first.
Sparky writes in, contract is like a lifetime warranty. Is the warranty for my lifetime or the business's lifetime? Yes.
Exactly.
That reminds me of these Mitsui Gold CDRs I bought in college that came with a little certificate in each jewel case.
Really? They came with a certificate?
Guaranteeing that it will last 100 years.
Did it work? You still got any?
Well, I think I still have the little card somewhere.
If you had a CD, you could sue them and say, yeah, this doesn't work anymore. What do I do?
I do still have some of my Mitsui Gold CDRs. I don't know when the last time I tried to spin one up was,
Yeah, see if they work.
I will say the problem with the Mitsui Gold CDRs is that, and I don't know where this fits in their guarantee, but part of what makes a CD works is its reflective surface. Mm-hmm. And the Mitsui Gold's reflective surface is on the top of the disc. It's like painted onto the top of the disc, and it's a gold-colored reflective surface. Mm-hmm. And it's very easy to scratch off. Okay. So, which means that anything scrapes against the top side of the disc, it will damage the reflective surface, and once that surface is damaged, when the laser gets to that point, it's going to freak out and not be able to read it right, and it's probably going to get stuck there. So that left me a little unimpressed that the 100-year guaranteed CDRs had a reflective layer that scraped right off easily. You could scrape it like a scratch card. You could literally just take like a quarter and go and just remove the whole reflective surface off of these.
The question is, in the warranty, in the guarantee, did it say anything about that?
Well, I didn't
If
read
it
the whole
didn't,
thing.
you might get some money out of them. If they're still around. They're probably
I
not
don't-
around.
I
And you might
don't
have to learn
know-
to speak Chinese.
I don't know if Mitsui is still around as a company or if they honor their 100-year warranty. But what I did as a result is I had, because back then, they were unbranded. So they were meant to be, to have a label adhered to them. So I had CDR labels. Because you remember you had like that little stamper thing that you put the disc on it upside down and have like the little spring-loaded middle part.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah,
that-
yeah. You could turn the little thingy.
Right, you peel the label, you put it sticky side up,
I hated
and it's got
those
the
things.
hole in the middle that the spring-loaded part, and then you rest the CDR upside down. The hole goes in a little peg, so it's floating above the label, and then you can stamp it down, and it applies the full label, no bubbles, all in one go. So I always made a point to label my Mitsui Gold CDRs to prevent. But then there are some people that claim that they had problems with years later the adhesive of their labels causing problems with damaging the surface over years of like the chemicals reacting with the CDR layer.
I just used a Sharpie.
And that is an option. The Mitsui Gold you could write on with a Sharpie, but then once I realized that it could flake off easily, I started labeling them just to protect that surface. But that is one of those things that years later, when I think back at that, I think to myself, like, what happens if
That
they
was
go out
me.
of
I'm
business?
sorry, I'm gonging.
That was Mars. And Sparky pointing out there's not been any audio dropouts. So it looks like the problem is with my Brave browser. So that's one of those things that I thought that was, like, to me, it was impressive that, because mind you, this was the late 90s when Mitsui Gold was advertising and including a warranty card individually packaged with each CDR guaranteeing 100 years, because CDRs kind of had a reputation as like it's not going to last forever. It's an ink-based format that's going to fade over time.
I still have a bunch of CDRs that work, though.
We all felt in the 90s, we all felt like in 20 years from now, these might all stop working. So when I found someone that was guaranteeing 100 years, I was like, I'm buying a box of 100 of those, and that's all I'm using from now on, because you promised me 100 years. Of course, now, thinking back at it, I'm like, oh, you gullible, stupid little naive
I
thing.
used to buy 100 pack, like the Fry's 100 pack of GQ ones or whatever they were, and they work fine. I still have a ton of these around here, and they still work.
So, I mean, my Mitsui Golds that I have still work, except I do have one or two that I didn't label that got a little scratch on them that have problem points. Because, well, one of them I kept all my old my old college projects on them.
You better copy that sucker on a hard drive. Get that stuff saved.
I copied on a hard drive, but one of the tracks on it, which was one of Seth's projects, the end of it got damaged. So I couldn't, but the others I got. So and that's the disc that has let's see, it's got the Gothard's found sound collage. Let's see if I could. Why is it not opening up?
Oh, I'll put a record off the back of the cereal box.
Oh, fucking Winamp is throwing a hissy fit because I have the stream record open. Sparky, oh, I thought my record were off the back of Cereal Box last year. Boy, was I wrong. I still have Cereal Box records that still work. All right, so here's something that was on that CD that I archived off of it before it got damaged.
Hello?
But there's, oh, here, Deep Tracks. But there's, oh, here, but there's, oh, here, ETS.
Yes, that was Gothard's college found sound project. I do not feel like listening to that full thing.
Who had the horn?
That was a squeaky door.
Oh.
That was
Yeah. Hey, as long as he had a good grade on it, that's all that matters.
Sparky goes, "What the hell? Oh my God! It's been so long since we've played these audios. Sparky has never heard these." So, Gothard and I both majored in music recording technology, and there was one semester that we had a class that was called what was it called? Electronic music. Something about study of electronic music. And in the world of, if you go back to the dawn of electronic music, what does that really mean? And what that really means is when the use of electricity could be used to make music in ways other than from acoustic instruments and producing sounds acoustically. And so there's two kinds of electronic music. There's country and there's Western. And if I pull up an example here, so an example of country electronic music would be this old classic here. I'm trying to make a joke right now. I don't have my examples ready for my joke.
Oh no! I blame Winamp. Winamp, fix your stuff.
Oh, here we go. Here's the country electronic music, which again Winamp isn't going to play because here we go. Actually, that would not be an example of country electronic music.
If he would have released that the same time as Hamster Dance, he would have made $1 billion. Seriously.
That there would be an example of synthesized electronic music. That is electronic instruments that would, and of course in its early days, and this isn't even the earliest of early, but this is still early synthesizer. And, you got a lot of very basic electronic sounds, sine waves, sawtooth waves, being combined with filters and envelopes and things to try to emulate sounds or create new sounds. Now, there's the other kind of electronic music, and that is found sounds. That is because with the creation of new tools that electricity would give you, you had the ability to record sound and then manipulate recorded sounds in ways that they created new sounds that wouldn't occur in nature. Like you could speed up sounds, slow down sounds. You could cut sounds and use only the portion of a sound. So for example, if you recorded the sound of a bell and then you took that recording and you cut off the beginning, you'd have the sound of the decay of a bell without an attack, which is a sound you would never hear on its own in nature. And different ways that you can manipulate. So synthesized sound, found sounds are your two types of electronic sounds. And you can go back into the history of that. There was a French composer, Pierre Schaeffer, who was a pioneer in found sounds. I think one of his more well-known pieces was a piece that involved the sounds of train recordings that he found hanging around a train yard that he turned into a piece. Let me see if I can find that. Pierre Schaeffer train. Here we go. Etude aux chemins de fer. I'm probably saying that wrong. And this piece was created in 1948.
Oh.
And perhaps this ain't for the dance floor, but the concept of taking relatively new technology of recording sounds and using it to create different types of beats out of a sound that was regular everyday sound was kind of something new and different. that's really probably the most primitive or earliest example. So,
Wow.
Sparky putting in 1948, back when trains had caboose. Yeah, there was I was looking for some way to turn that into a pun about behinds and dance floor and dance crews, but I couldn't quite pull it together.
See, pull it together. That's a good pun. Good job. Good
there
job.
we go.
Good job.
So now, of course, probably most music of this form was done with tape. Now, I don't know if the train one was done using tape. That was probably still done using some kind of disc recording method of analog production, and maybe
You said it was 48, though, right?
Yeah, well, when did audio tape really catch on? I mean,
Oh. It's been a
I mean,
while.
well, the Nazis invented tape because they were using that for their propaganda broadcasts, and that was discovered over there. But when did magnetic
So 46,
tape start
47?
being used? So I think some of Pierre Schaeffer's earliest stuff actually used like disc type of recording.
Wow.
But,
3.5-inch floppies, or
I don't know. Let's see. Well, actually, in Germany, they developed tape in 1928.
wow, they were ahead of the time.
But we didn't have that right away. Let's see.
You need some 1928 tape, Gators. How would you play that? Would you re-roll it on a spindle?
Very carefully. You wouldn't. Anyways, I'm not sure at what point Pierre Schaeffer had access to tape or what he was doing in 1948. But the point is, for many years, the most common music concrete or found sound music was typically done by manipulating tape, by recording sounds onto tape and then splicing things together. You know what a really good example of what you could do that's really cool with found sound music would be Hugh LeCane's piece Dripsody. Was made by manipulating the sound of a drop of water. A lot of manipulation of the sound of a drop of water. And the thing I like about his is that he made a actual tonal piece out of it, kept with, tuning rather than just found sounds.
It sounds like the that's the beginning to Reading Rainbow.
So I thought that was a very impressive creation there of found sound music.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and that was 1955.
Wow.
So I'm not sure how exactly he made that, but that's impressive.
That's pretty good. I mean, nowadays they just make an SFZ of that one drop and modify it and put it in a keyboard and play it. But
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So what we did was we were tasked to come up with like a 3-minute found sound piece of music. And what it was is that the department had a portable DAT recorder, digital audio tape. So what you could do is we all took turns signing out the DAT recorder and signing out microphones from the studio and go around and record our found sounds onto our DAT tape. And once we've gathered our sounds, we take our DAT tape and dump the sounds into the computer, and basically we would virtually manipulate the sounds in the computer by splicing and rearranging and manipulating or speeding up or do whatever it was we were going to do with them. And so I was, as usual, frustrated with things in life. And so I decided I wanted to make a piece that started sounding kind of peaceful and ended sounding kind of distressed. And so I took that recorder, I walked around campus and recorded nature sounds, different birds chirping, some water flowing over in the Peace Garden, and of course there was always the Peace Garden had these school-owned ducks with clipped wings that were always hanging around campus. So we got
poor ducks.
They were happy. They had the little Peace Garden, the little pond, the little thing, and that's where they were going to stay.
They cut their wings, and they'd be outside.
So I kind of did that, and then I went into a practice room in the music center and banged on a piano some, because recording me banging on a piano was also a fair game for found sounds, and I manipulated it and did things like that. And I also played with a little bit of bubble wrap and made some popping sounds with the bubble wrap, and I used the banging on the piano and bubble wrap for my more distressing sounds, and then also while I was hanging around recording some sounds, I swung by Seth's room, and he would not talk for me, and then he slammed the door on my way out, and that ended up being a sound I used, because I was knocking on a piece of wood when he slammed the door, and it just kind of happened to time perfect for what I was going for. And so that came out like this, and I don't even remember what I got for a grade for it. Oh, it had a 2.5 minute requirement, because it's 2 minutes 33 seconds, which is classic me meeting the bare minimum.
By 3 seconds.
That extra 3 seconds, you could have that for free.
Why?
Wow.
Wait for it.
What? Wow. Oh, it's still going.
I like the ending of that better than the rest of it. I think I start getting into something kind of cool with the looping patterns and the beat patterns. Everything before it, I think, was a little overindulgent. So, yeah, some people ask a girl out, get turned down, move on in their lives. Other people submit projects with stereo door slams to play for the whole class. We all have our ways of coping with life.
Wow.
I've played that before. You've heard that before.
Did you ever send a copy of that to, what was his name, Philip Glass?
No, I never sent a copy of that to Philip.
You should have said, hey, I'm an aspiring person. I want to copy your, well, not really copy your stuff. I want you to see what you think. And pay attention to the duck.
Why don't you go, aspire your way to the sweep in the studio over there?
What?
I was an intern at his studio. I was not someone that was going to speak to him about composition technique.
Why not?
My job was to make sure he had a bowl of nuts ready for when he was doing an interview.
I would say, I have a composition technique that I want to ask you about.
My
when
job.
You have some time. Hey,
I have to say, one of my memories of working at Philip Glass's studio was I got to see the entire life cycle of a birthday card.
Oh,
because there was a guy's birthday, and they're like, "Oh, we got to get him a card. We'll go send the intern down to Kmart to get a card." So I walk down to Kmart. I go find the most generic office birthday card I could find that would work. While I'm looking for the birthday card, a homeless guy walked up to me and stared at me for a while. I kept looking at the cards, pretending like there wasn't a homeless guy staring at me. He finally turned around and walked away. I picked a card. I went and I paid for it with the petty cash that they handed me to go shopping for a birthday card. I went back, handed the receipt and the change. Okay, you need to get everyone to sign the birthday card. So I walked around and give everyone a turn. Oh, hey, we got the card for so-and-so. Got all the signatures on the card. And then I gave it to the, studio manager who was, throwing this little shindig for him. They sent me out to go buy a cake or a pie or something for him. I go to a bakery, buy the cake for this, bring it in there. They had their little shindig. I don't even think I was at the shindig. I think I had something.
You got the cake in the card and you didn't get to go?
I didn't know this guy. I got the guy's lunch every
I don't
day,
care.
though.
There's cake.
The guy would send me to go get him I think I was busy with, kind of being a gopher for something else when the card and cake was happening. And here was the beautiful, there's a certain beauty in how this story ends. Because then the next morning I come into the studio, and one of my morning duties when I came in was to go around and collect to empty the waste paper baskets. And I went into his office and I got the waste paper basket, and there was the birthday card in it that I dumped out to the trash bag.
Oh. Did you sign it? You say Gators the intern signed it too?
I don't think I even signed it. I don't think I was asked to sign it.
Oh, you should have signed it, Gators the intern. Let's
go. He didn't care who signed it. He threw it out the same day he got it. He didn't even bring it home to throw out.
I don't know.
I just found a beauty in that this whole meaningless life cycle was something that I got to observe the full
you should have kept the card. It could have been some famous people on that card.
Somewhere I have a photocopy of Philip Glass's driver's license, but that's...
that's expired, sir. He's got his real ID now,
You also can't drive on a photocopy of a license that doesn't have your name or picture on it. But
well, that's true.
I don't know what I was ever going to do with it. Well, what happened was that they sent me. He just had a kid. His wife had just given birth to a baby, and they were home with the new baby, and so the studio wanted to send him some flowers, a congratulatory thing of flowers. So they sent me and someone else to get some flowers. I think someone helped me pick out the flowers, and I go get the flowers. And one of the people in the studio was kind of good at arranging and things like that. So they do that, and then they're like, okay, you go deliver the flowers to Philip Glass's place, and I knew what the address was. So and they said, oh, we need to get, he just got his driver's license renewed, and we need to get a photocopy of his driver's license to have him file at the studio for some reason. So while you're there, could you pick up his driver's license and bring it back? So I walk down to Philip Glass's place, and I ring the doorbell, and I think his mother-in-law answered the door. They were there, visiting their new grandchild and spending time in, Philip Glass's place. And so I said, flowers from the studio. I'm intern with the studio. And they've also asked me to collect Philip's driver's license so that they could take a photocopy of it to have him file. Could you would you be able to get that now? She said, oh, hold on, let me go talk to him. And she goes talk to him. She comes back, hands me Philip Glass's driver's license. And I said, thank you. And I put it in my pocket, walk back to the studio. And I remember thinking, how weird is this? Walking down the streets of New York City with Philip Glass's driver's license in my pocket. How did I get here?
Dang.
I don't know that they would do that anymore. Just hand
No, they just take a picture of it on the phone and say, here.
He says he's with the studio and they need your license. Oh, yeah, here, hand it to him.
No, he just take a picture with his phone and send it to you. Here, I'll just send it to the studio. It's fine.
So I took it. So they say, oh, please take a photocopy of it and give me the license and the photocopy. We'll make sure it gets back to him. And so I go to the photocopy machine. And I put the license down, and I hit the photocopy, and it came out. It came out the wrong way. It came out landscape instead of
Portrait.
Portrait, and I knew that they were going to want it portrait because it'd be So I tossed that one into the recycle bin, and then I selected portrait, and I hit the copy button. And so then I picked up the copy and I picked up the license. I handed it off to them, and I go sit down on the computer to continue my day of chatting on AOL Instant Messenger while waiting for the next Gopher thing to happen, or because I spent a lot of time just chatting AIM, because the only things I would do is what they need to send a Gopher to do, or observe a session if one was going on. So if there's no session and there's no Gopher jobs, it's pretty much just chill and do whatever and stay out of people's ways. So I'm doing my thing, and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I don't know if it's a good idea to leave a photocopy of Philip Glass's driver's license in the discard bin right next to the photocopier where anyone can grab it. I mean, any weirdo that should not have access to a photocopy of Philip Glass's driver's license could pick up that paper and take it home. I must make sure that doesn't happen by going there and doing exactly that myself.
Yes, like you did. Yes. And you have it somewhere piled away.
I still have it somewhere in a box in my basement.
Now, if you would have had him sign it. Say, hey, I have a question I need to sign. Or you go to something like years later. Oh yeah, I'm here. Can I get the sign from you? Like, dude, what?
Here we go. But Philip Glass wasn't necessarily he was a minimalist composer. Or he is a minimalist composer, I believe.
How old is he? Like 80-something now?
Gotta be.
Alexa, how old is Philip Glass?
Philip Glass is 87 years old.
He's 87.
87. Okay.
There you go.
I'd imagine he looks a bit different from the image on the photocopy I have of his driver's license by now.
Okay, whatever. Sorry, apparently I got notifications.
So, anyways, I don't know what you could do with Johnny Points. I don't know what I could do that you could do something with them, but I might have to figure that out one of these days. So I take it that Sparky is unimpressed with my found sound.
I don't know, man. It's just Sparky's eclectic. I can see him enjoying it.
He's going on to Riddle Me Piss is what he's going on to.
What's wrong with that? He had no problem with the highlighted messages. He redeemed them.
My problem was when the McElroys continued to revisit that bit every week and beat it to death. That was my problem with Riddle Me Piss. But that's not the. But Sparky told a few riddles. No, nothing wrong with that. A little chuckle.
Yeah,
I enjoy two or three riddles is fine, but 10 every week.
What's wrong with 10 riddles?
Well, they were also looking for the worst ones they could find.
They probably got them off the Echo.
Oh, they got them off a website. It was. I don't know if you ever listened to the McElroys.
No,
I haven't listened to any of their. Well, every now and then I still listen to Sawbones from time to time.
Okay.
That's about it. Anyways, so the point is that Sparky asked what the hell was that other thing that I played at the beginning of. I also have Seth's Found Sound project from that same class. And the reason why I have Seth's Found Sound project from that same class is because he used my voice throughout the majority of it. Which is why I was very disappointed when he gave me the silent treatment when I put a microphone in his face. Because he came knocking
But
on
he
my...
gave you a sound.
He gave me a sound, but not very much. Well, because he came to me, and he knocked on the door, I opened the door, and he put a microphone in front of my face. So you put a microphone in front of my face, what am I going to do? I'm going to ham it up and give him anything he wants to work with. So I'm like, giving him a tour of my room. Hey, look at this. My stereo has DTS. I have quadraphonic vinyl. Look at my Vanilla Fudge poster. I'm pointing out all the highlights of my college dorm room to him. And at some point I said, no, don't hurt me. Because I was describing my roommate that year was a guy by the name of Jim. And
I thought you were doing a thing of Mr. Bill.
He was very into painting in a style called Dada. And I believe that he had, he had some paintings that were, nice portrait things that were nice to look at. And he had some paintings that were more to the interesting. I don't want to say disturbing because I don't think they're really disturbing. I think he was making a statement. He was making art. He was making some interesting things that were worth looking at. But these weren't unicorns and rainbows. These were not that type of painting. And so there was one painting that I pointed to and described because it was like this kind of this being and its colors kind of very abstract, but you could clearly see he's got hands up in front of him like he was defending or blocking something. It was a thought-provoking painting, certainly. And so I looked at that and I was like, no, don't hurt. Like, what have we got over here? No, don't hurt me. And so Gothard went and recorded plenty of other sounds around the campus. I think most projects had a train in it somewhere because the dorm was the dorm buildings are all up against the train track. So everyone went out and recorded a train at some point.
Yeah, that's what I thought, Mr. Bill.
Yeah, no, it does sound like Mr. Bill, but that's not what I was going. It just happened to work that way. Mm-hmm. So anyways, Gothard puts together this Found Sound project that uses all of my quotes and voice as kind of like the melody line throughout. And at some point I made this sound that makes me cringe to this day that he captured the sound and used it to the extent he did. I was actually a little embarrassed when he played it for me.
It's fine.
But
fine.
I was like, you worked hard on that. I'm not gonna because he kind of played it for me almost like I'm looking for like unofficial. He didn't say it, but I understood he was playing it for me, like looking for permission to submit this since it was using me very prominently. And I said something to him to the effect of, well, gee, I'd only let a friend get away with that. And that was during a time when we were still deciding if we were friends or not. Like, I knew we were friends, but Gothard felt like we were not good friends, that we were just kind of acquaintances in passing, and that maybe I was, suggesting that we were more friends than we really were. But I recognized we had a lot in common and got along well and could be pretty good friends. And I think he was a little put off by how quickly I was like, hey, yeah, let's do this friendship thing. And so when I kind of said, well, that's something I'd only let a friend get away with, that really drove my point home that, you're not going to do that to someone you're not good friends with.
I mean, you only show your friends your Vanilla Fudge posters, honestly.
Honestly, exactly. And so that was the point where basically it was indisputable that we were friends, that we did that. Sparky's gonna need more wood. All right, Sparky's got to let me know when he's back before I play this.
When he says that, I'm wondering if that means he's on a different tab. Just saying.
Well, that's one way to get more wood.
Oh.
Now we find out
Poor
if Bob Pro's
Sparky.
still here or not, because she'll laugh at that. She'd laugh at that one if she heard it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a good one, Bars.
Well.
All right, so while Sparky's getting his wood, we'll play a different project than that one. Another project we had to do was we had to write and record a rap song and use samples and things. And so...
Do we get to hear a Gators rap?
Oh my God, where is my rap song? I think my rap song is missing from this folder.
Oh.
Oh my God, I don't know where my rap song is. I know I have it somewhere because I've played it on my show in the past.
Was that the track that didn't come up anymore?
No, it was a jazz thing that Seth recorded that the end got chopped off, and there's not a track
ew.
number missing. So I don't know what happened. I must have not put the rap song on that CD. I was not proud of my rap song. I know
Was
I have
anybody in the class really proud of the rap song?
No.
Yeah, see, you're in company. It's fine.
I will say that. What was the project that? I wish I had other people's projects. One project I'll always remember was we had to record some kind of a song or something, and this one guy Matt in our class decided he's going to make a porn groove, and it was a project that had to use MIDI and things like that, and so he puts together this drum beat and things like that, but at some point, the MIDI sounds that he were using didn't quite say porn. So it sounded kind of like a porn groove, but then it had these kind of synthy sounds. And
you don't know what kind he was into?
It kind of added the science fiction element to the porn groove. And so we ended up calling it Alien Porn. And I wish I had a copy of that project. I could still hear it in my head. It was just weird in just the right way to be amusing.
Yeah, don't Google that, by the way. Don't do that.
That's not how to find it.
And we will be kicked off of Twitch and YouTube.
I don't know where the
and Kick.
But the requirement was we had to write a rap song that started with the line is "My name is."
Oh.
And my God, I don't know where I'm pretty sure I have it on a cassette somewhere, but I might have it on a DAT somewhere too, if that even plays.
Do you have something that actually reads your DATs?
What's that?
Do you have a DAT drive to read those?
I bought a DAT machine from a swap meet, but it doesn't work. So I have DATs that I haven't played in years, and I have a DAT player that can't play them anyways.
Oh, sad.
But I have some of these things on a cassette somewhere. So if worst comes to worst, I could always dig up my rap song off of the cassette. But I'm surprised I don't have it on the... I know I have a file of it somewhere because I have played this on shows in the past. It's been years, but I have played it. So I don't know how it disappeared. Anyways, I have Gothard's rap song.
Oh, that's good.
So let's see. And I remember one time we did this many years ago, and I remember My Name is Leo was on the show, and Leo and Venison all made me send them copies of Gothard's projects. But when we played Gothard's rap song, they said, "Yeah, you don't have to send us that one.
Isn't Leo in New Zealand or something now?
He's in Japan.
Oh, he's in Japan.
He streams on YouTube regularly. So I guess the question is, Sparky's back. So do we play Gothard's Found Sound project that uses my voice throughout the whole thing, or do we play Gothard's rap song?
I don't know. It depends on how long Sparky wants to have the wood for.
All right.
Oh, he says both. Okay.
All right. Well, all right. So Gothard did his Found Sound project using my voice that I gave him when he came into my room, and I gave him a tour of the room, and turned it into a melody line. I told him, well, I'd only let a friend get away with that. That cemented our friendship. And then he got in trouble anyways. The teacher saw it made me uncomfortable, and the teacher gave him a little talking to after class, basically saying, that wasn't cool, don't do that again. Which I don't think that was cool for him to do that, because he had my permission. I gave him clearance to do it. So anyways, that was what that WTF file is that I played a little bit. So here's the whole thing in its entirety that I don't know if Gothard ever named it, but I named it No Don't Hurt Me, because that sound was used a lot in it.
Hello? What does... Oh, here. Eat tracks. What does... Oh, here. What does... Oh, here. ETS. You're scaring me now.
No, don't hurt me.
Here. Yes, I am starting to fear for my life right now. What does... Oh, here. Quadraphonic vinyl.
No, don't hurt me.
Come in. Welcome to my quadraphonic vinyl.
Wait, there's more.
8 tracks. What does... Oh, here. Look at my vanilla fudge poster. Yes. 8 tracks. You're scaring me now. Oh, here. What does... Oh, here. ETS. Yes, I am starting to fear for my life right now. You're scaring me.
No, don't hurt me.
You're scaring me now.
No, don't hurt me.
ETS. What does... Oh, here.
No, don't hurt me.
Quadraphonic vinyl. What does... Oh, here. 8 tracks. 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 What? Come in? ETS. What is going on here? What does... Oh, here, look at my vanilla fudge poster. What?
No, don't hurt me.
Wait, there's more. 8 tracks. What does... Oh, here. What does... Oh, here. ETS. You're scaring me now. What does... Oh, here. Yes, I am starting to fear for my life right now.
Wow.
This was a college project in our electronic music class. That was Gothard's. The one with the piano crashing and bubble wrap and bird chirps was mine.
And
So
the
yeah,
duck.
and the ducks at the Peace Garden. But yeah, so that was. I just remembered there was a very slow door sound that was used there multiple times, but that loud squeal was not actually a squeaky door. That was, if you have like kind of a large lecture hall that would have the swing out desks that you'd swing out in front of you.
Oh, those things. Yeah.
Yeah, one of those had that really loud squeal that he captured a sound of.
Wow.
Now, you know what? I don't know what grade I got on mine, and I don't know what grade Gothard got on his. And Gothard never talked to me about the grade on it because he also didn't talk to me about the talking to he got from the teacher, but I do happen because it was so obvious. After classes were walking out, he kind of said, come see me in my office. And I actually called him afterwards. I was like, hey, I hope I didn't get you in trouble with that project. He's like, oh, no, it wasn't that. Years later, I got to admit, it was that, but I was under strict orders not to talk to you about it.
Oh, what?
And I don't know if that impacted his grade, but the teacher felt like that he had embarrassed me with that, and that so I don't know. But again, that's what the project was. The project was to kind of create a sound collage of found sounds as a, to kind of, it was more about playing and experimenting with the technique that was a part of music history than actually creating a real work of art. But I don't remember what grade I got on it, but it's also the project I did in school that I'm probably the most proud of because it was so personal to me. So I don't have my rap song, but while I do another look to see if I can find a recording of my rap song, Gothard did his rap song, and part of his strategy to try to, deal with the horrors of him recording a rap song was to put a weird effect on his voice to make it hard to understand.
Okay.
But he also made the subject of the rap song about a guy named Spanky, which I don't know why he was calling me Spanky for a period of time. I think there was some discussion about jerking it that somehow resulted in him referring to me as Spanky for the next few months afterwards. Wow. But then at the end he claims that but Spanky isn't real, he's made up, so he's not real, as kind of like I can't get in trouble for this one because it's totally not about him, I just made him up. It's almost like an inside joke, I think, although I think this came before the other one. I don't remember the order anymore. Anyways, here's Gothard's rap song while I try to find mine, if it would play.
My name is Horton. Yeah, that's real dumb. Doesn't it sound real? Eh? Well, I have to put this down for it. With it, find an insider. Bang like 8 tracks. You listen to them all day. He plays them home, night and day. Sound like count, just like Shelley. I hate those stupid little black things. I should smash them all day. I can't stand Spanky when he's talking. I just go walking away, but he follows me everywhere. I can't stand it when he talks. Blah 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 and blah 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 blah. Yeah, that's all he does is blah 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 blah.
Oh no.
Spanky is real dumb, he's real annoying. He just does lots of things that just ramble on and on till your head explodes. I hate those stupid little black things. I should smash them all day. I hate those stupid little black things. I should smash them all day. Spanky likes quadraphonics. He likes that 4-channel sound. Yeah, he does. He thinks he's real cool with his quad headphones. Yeah, he does. Don't you know? He'll give you all like sure that you'll never forget. Well, you want to, but you can't forget when he's talking all the time, like a fly that you blow in your head, like a rhyme that never goes away. Frank comes a knocking, yeah he does, he comes all the time, but you know, he's not real, he's just a figment of imagination, so he's not real, ha ha, ha ha, there's no one named Spanky, ha ha ha, yeah, yeah, there's no one named him, yeah, yeah, you know. Now that you've heard my stupid little rap, you think it's pretty cheesy, you think it's crap. Well, you know, I don't care.
So I'm going to have to do a little hunting around. I think I figured out what happened. Reviewing the rip of that CD, I see that track 2 on the CD was not successful. And I think that was my rap song. So I think.
Oh no, number 2 was not successful.
Yeah, so that 100-year guarantee didn't pan out, and my rap song got lost as a result.
You didn't brush your CD with toothpaste?
No, well, it's a scratch off of the foil reflective surface. So Mitsui owes me a new CDR.
You should message him and say.
I should. I have to find where the disc is and see what I can do with it. I probably have other copies of that song. If anything, I've played it on my show, and I have hours and hours of recordings of shows over the years. So it's
probably has a copy of that stuff too, right?
No, he didn't want a copy of my rap song.
What?
No, but I think I have a cassette that has it, and I think that's in that drawer over there. So I just need to go through those cassettes and check them out. If not, I can. One of these days, my DAT tape might turn up, and I might get hands on a player. So it's not like it's lost forever. It's just going to take some investigating to find it. But basically, my rap song was just me rapping off the top of my head about how I was up late waiting to the last minute to do this project, and it took me forever to, because I was kind of pissed off. Sparky pointing out that Brian just went to pee, because the rap song had to be done on a DAW workstation in the DAW lab, digital audio workstation, DAW lab. So there were like 3 or 4. No, actually, well, there were a number of workstations in that lab. Probably more like 5 by then, or 4, and you could sign them out, and so I signed out a DAW workstation the night before it was due, and I signed it out like at 9 because that was opened up. I signed it out for like an hour from 9 to 10. And I got up there, and someone else was still using the workstation. And mind you, the other people who are using the workstation are people in our class, because that lab is only for music recording students. Mm-hmm. And sure, that there's only really 3 years of music recording students that would be using that lab, because freshmen are taking mostly music classes and not tech classes yet. So they didn't need it to get into the equipment. So usually, and they usually kind of staggered who had projects due when by the years. So it was all the people in my class that had these workstations signed out that evening. So if I get there and someone's using the workstation that I signed out,
did you punch them in the gullet and say, it's mine now, go away?
It's because they need to finish up their project to turn it in the next day. So if I'm going to be a dick and say, hey, I have it signed out now, get your ass off that computer. I'm basically throwing off their momentum. So to me, the polite thing to do was to wait my turn. And I don't remember if there was a conversation or not, but it took at least an hour before they left that workstation and freed it up for me to use.
Oh, I'd be peed. I'd be like, dude, you almost done it. I signed out for 9.
Yeah. So I started ranting in the song about how, I've been here since 9 and I waited to the last minute. I don't even remember all the lyrics, but basically, because I didn't even have any lyrics written. I just decided I was going to go in. There was a CD of samples. I go through, pull out some samples, loop something together. It's a rap song. How hard could it be? And yeah, in an hour or two, I had put together a thing, and and the thing about the rap song was I just rapped off the top of my head. I didn't even try to make it rhyme. I just tried to go with the rhythm of it. And if I ever lost my flow or lost track or couldn't think of the next line, I just cut and I go back and I'd be like, okay, it was good up to this point. What can I say after that? And I'd, chop and punch myself back in after that point and just keep going. And I just kept adding to it till I got through the whole thing. And then I also had some keyboard set on sound effect mode to put a bunch of beatbox and scratching sounds over it. Mm-hmm. Really wish I had it here to play for you now that I described it to you.
You'll find it at some point.
But what I do have is I don't have my final project. And actually, I don't have Gothard's final project in its entirety. Because the final project for electronic music was to play along with something electronic. To perform with a computer.
Oh.
And so I had put together a MIDI arrangement to this piece I was kind of working on that would accompany me on the French horn and played French horn to it. I didn't record it, and I don't even have the MIDI file anymore because it wasn't even that great. It was pretty much just kind of a piano accompaniment thing. I still know how the piece goes. I never quite finished it anyways.
Well, you can pull out your French horn and do your project at some point.
I could. It wouldn't be hard to recreate it. I do know it up here. I'd have to get in practice and get my embouchure in shape again. That's probably not going to happen anytime soon. Gothard put together a project by now this is the type of thing that if he were ever to actually do something with this, he'd have to clear the samples. So he used samples of the grindcore band The Locust and The Residents. And
oh no!
He also used. I'm telling you, The Residents isn't the bad part of this project. The Locust is. Are you familiar with The Locust?
I think you played them before.
We've played the project, but let me see if I can find The Locust and play. Their songs. Their album had like 30 songs on it, and it was one of those single-size CDs.
Oh wow!
Because they were short songs. So that's that song.
What were they an influence to Yoko Ono?
They've probably more likely to be influenced by her than influence her. But
okay, I just wondered.
Do we need another one? No, I don't think we do.
Oh wow!
I absolutely hated that album. Oh, did I hate that album? Gothard loved it, but then again, we all have our ways of coping through that thing called college. And What a Gothard's way of dealing with college was to listen to The Locust. My way was to bang on some pianos in a practice room and throw up stereo door slams to deal with my rejection.
Wow.
But
I always just watched Sailor Moon, but never mind.
No, that was LeVar's.
Yeah, that was his thing. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. But so he used samples of that, samples of The Residents. He also used samples of a recording that he recorded of the concert choir. And added some MIDI. One of the requirements was there had to be MIDI. So the only reason it has the doo 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 over the top of it was because he needed to check off that requirement off the checklist of things that the final project had to have. So what's missing is that he played his bass running through a vocoder for effect along with it when he performed it. But even without that, the backing track stands on its own. He also used the original version of it used my voice because he wanted this to be kind of something that had a nod to his past projects. But after he got in trouble, he replaced my voice with clips from movies.
Okay.
And I have both versions, but the version with my voice is missing the MIDI track. So here's the version he performed to. If we get this queued up here.
Come on, we're gonna go for a joyride. Mommy, baby wants to...
She's gone from suck to blow.
Be polite.
Do something! 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 Do something!
Come on, we're gonna go for a joyride.
I think it works better with the movie quotes. I mean, he ended up calling it Do Something. So the version without the movie quotes didn't have that do something at the end. But for science, we should review the original ending that used my voice. You seem to be left speechless there, Mars. You're starting to fear for your life.
Gators?
Yes?
Take 2 of your gummies and listen to that.
All right, so we don't need to play the whole thing because the beginning, up to the movie quotes, it's the same thing but without the mini doo-doo-doos. So let me see if I can find the part where it... here we go.
Quadraphonic vinyl. Eat tracks.
Oh, yeah, I did into it.
Eat tracks. Quadraphonic vinyl. Eat tracks. Quadraphonic vinyl. Eat tracks. Quadraphonic vinyl. Eat tracks.
It pretty much just alternated me saying 8 tracks and quadraphonic vinyl at the end there instead of the movie quotes. I think it works better with the repeating "do something, do something, do something."
Well, yeah, and he took the Spaceballs out of it.
That too. Although the thing is that there was a choir piece that had weird sounds with like the ha ha ha. It was and he recorded that choir concert. I don't know what that piece was, and I don't know if he actually has a recording of that choir performance. But I always felt like that was the best. One of my favorite parts is that he ended it just with that weird choir sound at the end. It just cuts to the weird choir sound.
That makes it right there. It's excellent.
And then plus it's over. So there's that too.
Yeah. Sparky, it's okay if your ears bleed a little. You have to let a little pressure out. It's fine.
The Locust has been known to have that effect. And one of the other things that the Locust is known for is they called you know how Jerry Springer would have a number to call if you were in some kind of a fucked up love triangle situation and wanted to parade it out on national TV in front of millions of viewers?
Wait, did you ever call that number?
No, but the Locust did. And so they just totally lied to them, and they got flown out there. And so one of the recordings that exists that's related to the Locust is the members of the Locust on Jerry Springer acting out this whole angry love triangle situation.
Wow.
And one of them's actually wearing a band T-shirt during the show too.
You know what? I approve. You get the promotion here. It's fine. It's fine.
Sparky ready again. I got up early just to hear that, Johnny. Shit, it's 10:30 at night. Night shift?
Maybe Sparky stays awake at night. I mean, you guys assume he's in the U.S.
We do assume that.
I mean,
You're
he could
very
be in
right.
Australia. It's Australia. It's early in the morning still.
Now, I gotta ask you something. I watched a YouTube video today. Do you ever watch YouTube videos? I mean,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
it's
I
a good
do.
start.
Yes, I do, sir.
Okay, it's a good start. Because the last one I was talking to about YouTube videos doesn't watch YouTube videos, and so I realized I need to start with basic questions sometimes.
Who doesn't watch YouTube?
A guy that I'm going to try to get to join our show. Maybe he could be the new Brian.
Oh. I mean, okay. Technically, I listen to YouTube videos, but I watch YouTube videos.
Well, you do stare blankly at the screen. So
yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever watch a YouTube channel called The Y Files?
I've heard of it, yeah.
I think it's a very good channel because he covers conspiracy theory topics, and clearly this guy is very into conspiracy theories. And usually I'm a bit weary of people...
We used to have someone on here that did that.
Yeah. But this guy does it... I like the way he does it because he presents the conspiracy theory as is, and then at the end, he basically tells what the truth is of the things. You know, who was credible, who wasn't credible, what's been disproven. And what you kind of gather about it is a lot of conspiracy theories have a lot of garbage in it, which is usually from people trying to sell products or people that have been discredited. But also a real center thing around conspiracy theories is that when people make accusations about the government hiding things and lying about things, it's there have been so many times in history that's been proven true, that how can you trust them at all, ever? But then again, so there are certain things that it's like, well, this hasn't been disproven, so it's up to you, and do you just trust the word of this entity that has been known to lie to you, or, and I generally take it with a grain of salt. But again, what I like is that he tells an entertaining story and then he breaks down the facts and what part of it I could just kind of put over here into fun story that's been disproven. And then you're left with, well, these things haven't quite been explained and maybe there's something weird there, but not nearly as huge as the full theory that he just dismissed half of or more or less depending on the topic. So he posted a new episode recently, and this episode, I think a lot of it was a fiction story that's based on a real problem, and at the end he didn't really go and dismiss anything and basically said, this is all true, be prepared. And I don't think he means it's literally true, the stories he was telling. But the issue is, are you familiar with the concept of the quantum apocalypse?
I know about the quantum zone from the Marvel movies. Is that the same?
Well, the issue is that as we develop quantum computers, people in the world of security tech are very aware of the reality that there is a lot of encrypted data that's out there. And there's a lot of encrypted data that people have that maybe they can't do anything with the data, but if they ever break the encryption, they could have it, so they have that data stored. And quantum computers stand to be able to, at some point, it's not a question of if, it's a question of when, be able to decrypt all of our protected data. And we haven't quite come up with a method of encryption that is strong enough to prevent future computers from decrypting. And so there's this reality that we could be facing a future where encryption is just gone. All our secrets are revealed, and no one can really, we're talking about banks, we're talking about secure networks, we're talking about,
it's like sneakers. Okay.
So I'm not worried. I'm not losing sleep, mainly because I get tired.
I don't care. They can know my secrets. I don't give a crap. What am I going to see? What are my secrets?
Well, for example, like if we're talking about something that basically brings down the banking system, and if basically if you didn't keep some gold or silver on hand, you might be out of luck. Because the banking network and system has been completely hacked and
so I need stuff to barter with if the banks go down.
Right. I mean, I don't think it's quite like that level. I think like many problems, when people take a real problem, they like to present the worst case scenario to really make the case for why this is something important you need to pay attention to. For example, before the COVID-19 pandemic happened, people talked about, hey, we can have a pandemic. This can happen at any time, and it could be a real disaster that kind of seriously impacts civilization. And generally, the sample cases that they try to outline a story of, an example of what would happen to society, is for something that is much worse than what COVID-19 was. So you have the worst case scenario as a cautionary tale, and then you have the reality that is something you live through. That's kind of how I see it, and I do feel like it's an issue that is being paid attention to. And the reality is that generally, as technology evolves, the use cases, the use of it, and implementation of it evolves with it. And so, yeah, we're going to develop computers that can break encryption easily, and there's going to continue to be hacks and data compromises. But we're also working on better encryptions and shoring up and it's going to be an all-out war, and there's going to be problems and there's going to be solutions. But I just wasn't sure if this is a topic that I've just been blindsided by? Other people hearing about it? Or
Wow.
Is it anything?
I've heard about stuff like that. I mean, we talked about the 80s with sneakers. They talked about stuff they had for it was a full encryption thing. I mean, Dan Aykroyd decrypted major stuff with a decoder ring. I mean, things are there. Have you ever watched that movie yet? By the way.
No.
Yeah, it's a great movie. It's a great movie. You should watch it. Yeah, but yeah, they talked about that kind of stuff then.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, the cautionary tale of the breakdown of society has been a topic for generations.
Yeah, generations.
This to me. So, like when he's telling the story as the cautionary tale, and at the end of it is like, this is all real. Be prepared. There is a part of me that like kind of rolls my eyes, like, sure. But I also recognize the reality of the possibility of this, that we are evolving technology in ways that can become very unpredictable. Cracker Jack doesn't do rings anymore.
No, well, this is in the 80s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, he got his decoder ring from a box of Cracker Jacks. It was Dan. Dude, it's a great movie, you guys.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah.
Oh, Brian has written back that he was out doing errands.
Oh.
He must have had a
Who's
20-minute. He must have had a 20-minute pee after his errands.
I've done that.
So Brian's still in, but I'm thinking, I've done this show long enough that there are times that hosts are regular and consistent and reliable, and there are times that hosts I think Brian is interested in doing the show, but not interested enough to commit to definitely being here every time. And so I think he's starting to drift away from the commitment. But I do believe... So I kind of foresee 2025 being the year of Brian being a maybe, coming and going.
Mm-hmm.
But I am working on recruiting a new possible co-host.
It's not Skylark, is it?
No, it's not Skylark. It's one of my coworkers, actually. There's a guy I get along really well with at my job that actually his laptop broke down last week.
Hey, my laptop broke down. Hey, would you like to go on a show with us? Oh. Okay.
Well, so what happened is that his laptop broke down on Wednesday, and he spent all day Wednesday trying to fix it himself before coming to me, because he's in the sysadmin team, so he knows how to do computer stuff, so he's going to try to do everything he can before he comes to me. So at the end of the day, he's like, I'm going to need something for this weekend. And I'm like, well, we got two options. I can spin up a loaner that I have here and overnight it to you so that you get it on Friday, or I can meet you in the office tomorrow, Thursday, and do a swap in the office on Thursday, and then we can go out for some drinks. And he said, were you already going in the office? And I'm like, no, this will be a special trip, but I could go for some drinks after work. And he said, yeah, sounds like a plan. Let's do it. So I went into the office on Thursday and spun up a new computer for him and got him set up on there. And then we went out and we had a beer, and then we had another. And then first we had a Yingling, and it was okay. And I like Yingling, but I didn't really care for it on tap there. So we were going to have another Yingling, and then I saw that they had Sam Adams Winter Lager on tap. So I'm like, no, screw these Yingling. Let's get a Winter Lager. So they brought us Winter Lagers, and they were skunked. And so like, yeah, no, take this away. And we got a few other things. We ended up having 4 beers, and some were pretty strong. I was walking a little funny to the train afterwards.
Oh.
And
you didn't put it on Twitch though on the way home.
No, because now Sparky asked me if this new host is familiar with Twitch. I don't think he's familiar with Twitch. He's the guy that doesn't watch YouTube. But he's mentioned, we've hung out and we text back and forth. So his wife knows about this coworker that he like when they were on vacation, and like the bed and breakfast they were staying at had different gramophones out in display. He was sending me pictures of the gramophones. So I guess like when he was going out to, going into the office on Thursday, get the laptop, and he goes, oh, is this the one that likes gramophones? It's like, No, this is one that likes all old technology. So, I guess the real question is can Sparky handle him? Because we definitely don't want to get him started on coffee. Otherwise, he'll be perfectly fine.
I mean, are you guys doing your Saturday show, drinking and talking about coffee? Is that your Saturday show now?
That's not what I'm referring to.
Okay. Well, I know exactly what you're referring to.
Not a fan of the orange bean coffee.
Okay.
But anyways, so apparently, here's the thing though: is how do you describe what I do? Because what I do doesn't fit into what other people are doing now. So he keeps using the word podcast, and I keep explaining to him why what I do is not a podcast.
It pretty much is a podcast, though. Honestly, if you really want to think about it,
podcasts.
You can put this as a recording and stick it online as a podcast.
But when I think of podcasts, I think of something produced that people actually want to listen to episodically.
Wow, you did not listen to podcasts in the 90s, did you?
But that's what podcast today is.
Oh. Is it?
See,
okay.
a podcast of this is like the focus of my show is to do it live and to listen live. The podcast is kind of like, a VHS recording. If you missed the live show, but you want to see what you missed, you can check out the recording. Whereas today, people that are successful at podcasts are producing something that's about a half hour long that is kind of well edited, well put together, well produced.
Wait, this isn't well put together, well produced?
Not for a podcast.
Oh, okay. Well, you play sound bites and stuff.
It's a live stream that's kind of a stream consciousness of conversation without really any plan or focus, which is fun for us in our little group. We have our little thing here that works for us, and I'm happy with that. But if I was trying to run a successful show, I'd be doing it a lot differently.
Okay. Just explain to him after you guys have a couple drinks.
So I think his wife wants to check out my YouTube channel, and so I recommended he check out the 8 hours of the Vintage Department Store Christmas music, because that's my most successful episode.
But don't you want to show her what we really do, though?
Well, if you find that, you find my channel, and then you find the rest.
Well, she's not going to listen to the whole Christmas one, but you could say,
So if she's listening to this, I don't think she's made it to this point.
Okay.
But anyways, after 4 beers, while walking to my train, I thought to myself, why in the hell didn't I try to talk to him about joining the show? And so I texted him. What did I text him? First of all, I sent him a link of the 8 hours of Vintage Department Store music so that he could pass that on. And let's see.
That'll keep him going.
Yeah. So he's probably, still listening to that.
Either that or he's quit his job and left. I'm joking.
Let's see. I said, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. So the good news is by reviewing. That was about when I lost the. Let's see. I just wrote to him. You should join my stream. What's on your weekly schedule? Mondays 8 to 10 p.m. EST. And he wrote in, mostly nothing important. Cool. I use a service called StreamYard that is browser-based. Headset is adequate. And he said, don't threaten me. You made your train? I said, 18 minutes to spare. We could have chugged another. Got a show for at least one stream. By the way, my computer finished shutting down. Let's see what happens on reboot when I get home. And I wrote, holding breath. Then I wrote, decisions. What podcast to queue up? Serial or how to do everything? And he wrote back, something with a French horn. And I wrote back on our stream, when I told Ian Lee that 3 of us played French horn, he was concerned we could catch something. We suspect he misheard French whore. And
Yeah. The N was gone, wasn't it? What?
Autobot held Sparky Toaster's message because it didn't like the phrase French whore.
Nice. Hey, I got it right there.
So he heard that too. No, French horn. Horn. And I was the one to point out, though, when we said that. Because remember, Brian and Venison were all talking about how we played French horn in school. Yeah. And then Ian Lee called us. And we were talking about we all played French horn. And Ian said, you can catch something doing that.
Well, yeah.
So I have now added permission to use the term French whore in our chat. So French whore is open game to all you naughty chatters out there.
Oh. I see.
Oh, no, it's still asking me to allow.
Yes, I see it. Sparky's saying it.
Yeah, well, but it's asking me to give to. I had to approve it because he said it before he said whore. Whore is okay. French whore, I have to approve because that's disrespectful to French prostitutes who are very offended when they listen to our. I have to allow French hoe as well.
I mean. Yeah. Thank you, Sparky, for testing it out for us. We appreciate this.
Well, now to find out if he could say French fries.
Oh. Lady of the night.
French lady of the night. You can't say French hoe. French fries is okay. Even though the preferred term is freedom fries.
No.
I'm right there with you. No.
I mean, I'm sorry. I buy the Nason's French fries. You have a problem with that? Then too bad.
It blocked French whore fries as well. I had to hit the allow. So yeah, I have to allow each. It tells me Johnny added permitted term, but yet it still makes me approve it every time. So I don't know why.
You might have to do like a wild, like the star or something. I think there's a wild star, and then between it a star.
Or maybe it's adding a list, but I've not set something to use the allow list or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Like that. Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to allow everything because, random people could come in and say like shit that like I just don't want to see. I don't want to get into the topic of filters right now. We tried that at the beginning of the show. and now I have to Google things about deworming medicine. And who wants to do that?
Nobody wants to do that.
Anytime I walk away from the show with homework to read up about horse deworming medication, that's a bad show. Something went wrong on that show.
I don't think the bot does that here. No, your bot doesn't do it.
Oh, I need to learn how to do bot stuff.
Yeah, if you go to most channels, you'll be able to type that in, and it'll come up, and it'll send you a link to a cat picture.
I take that back.
No, don't say that. Don't do that. When I got in trouble during Dune's show one night, saying something about doing a banana command. You never do that.
Banana cleaners.
No, don't.
Amazon has a lot of great banana cleaners. Oh, you know what I've been buying lately? 90s dance mix cassette tapes. Yeah.
Are you gonna play them on Dune show?
I don't know because they're endless. They seem from one song to the next, so they're not good for exchanging songs back and forth. But they're good to put on in the background if you just want to have the vibe of the 90s back again. Because if I think of a song, I can play a song, but I don't even remember the names of all the songs that were in the background. And there were songs that I liked that I retained memory of or knew what they were.
Because we didn't have Shazam back then.
But there are things I haven't heard in years, and for me, it's very nostalgic. Just like you like in the '90s, you go to the boardwalk, and the stands would all be playing stuff in the background. So, Sparky wants to know how many tape versions they have as a set. Well, there's different series of tapes I've found. There's an MTV Dance Mix series that I've bought 6 volumes of. There's even more I haven't bought yet. There was Dance Mix USA that had the commercials on TV back in the day. which actually was from an MTV 90s recording that I saw the commercial, and I was like, oh, I should see if I can get like a cheap cassette of that. Because even though by the 90s CD was becoming the dominant format, for the school kids, cassette was still king because Walkmans were way more affordable than Discmans. So if you bought a CD version of something, you had to tape it if you wanted to take it on the school bus with you, which is what I did a lot of because I played the long game. I understood that the CD was superior to the cassette, and I had tons of blank cassettes. So if I really wanted
I was a
something,
people watcher. I watched everybody on the bus, so.
Yeah. So, but for me, when I'm buying nostalgic 90s music, I'm also cassette for me is the nostalgic 90s format. So buying dance mix compilations on cassettes to be able to throw that 90s vibe into the background to me is like just the perfect thing in all levels. Anyways, we've gone on way too long. Brian has gone to pee a third time at this point, I think. So,
either that or he's not gotten out of the bathroom yet.
Could be. He might have had to drop a deuce.
Oh, I don't want to know about that.
Anyways, this has been another fun-filled edition of
Insert Title here.
And we do try to be educational here.
God.
And I think we've all learned a whole lot here. So, Mars, what have you learned here this week?
I'm trying to think what I've learned today. It's been a very long show.
It has.
I learned that the horn was really a desk.
And I learned that Chrome is better for streaming audio to StreamYard than Brave is, even though Brave is Chromium-based. And I learned that I need to find a recording of my college rap song. And Sparky learned that Johnny does not like riddles. I was kind of hamming that one up. But and I do think the Hammer Time song is on one of the tapes somewhere. I think there is some MC Hammer. Although I also did, because when I'm buying these tapes off of sellers, I look what else the sellers have because it helps to combine to order multiple things to save on the shipping. So I also did buy a cassette copy of the Hammer Time album.
Oh, there you go.
Please, Hammer, don't hurt him. Which somewhere I have a vinyl copy of that I found in the wild for dirt cheap, which is odd because that was definitely not the era of vinyl. But as Sparky pointing out, yes, not a single cutout happened. All right, well, we're going to go find someone to raid is what we're going to do. And you know what? The Square Hole chick is live right now. Do we all like her? Do we like Tired Actor?
Sure. That was pretty good last time.
Yeah. Okay. Or Graceful Bard is live. Although, no, wait. Graceful Bard doesn't have a number next. Oh, Knock
She
to
might not
Ask.
be live anymore.
Oh, that's Knock to Ask to Collaborate. That's different. No, I don't want to. Oh, okay. No, she is live. Tired Actor's live. Let's see. We got other people. Flatulent Gonad is live playing My Summer Car. No, Tired Actor is... she's a gamer. I think she plays games. I think for streaming she plays games. But she's a TikToker. But she also puts her things on
how's that
YouTube
going to
Shorts.
work now?
YouTube Shorts. I don't know where they're going. They'll go to... There are other... Facebook and YouTube both have platforms to upload shorts. So it's not like there's no place to put this content. I just don't know if like the payout's not working as well or what the deal is. But I do see her shorts on YouTube. But no, she's not Asian. She's, I think she actually is in Massachusetts. But again, she did the Square Hole short. She does a lot of cute. She does like exercises in acting that show different emotions. So usually it's the type of thing like you kind of let the camera run and keep going with the character. So it's that's kind of what I've seen in the style of some of her things, where the tone or the true feeling comes out after the little joke, like the tears of a clown type of thing. You tell a joke, laugh, and then kind of but I'm lonely type of thing.
I don't see Tears of a Clown because when I start my flamethrower, there's nothing left. So
Well, plus, it's when there's no one around. So there's.
yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, but she plays games on Twitch, and I like to support her because I like her content. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna raid Tired Actor, and Momo is like, why? Tired Actor is not letting me raid.
Oh, she must have raids turned off.
Oh man, we've raided her before. I hope she wasn't.
Maybe you have to have a certain amount of people to raid.
And she was appreciative at the past, but maybe she. I hope it wasn't me. I hope it wasn't anything.
No, it might be. She might have a number of how many people. Because some people raid with like one person.
Oh yeah.
So since we only have a couple people, she may not let us raid this time.
Yeah. What do we have right now? Right now
2.
we have Sparky and Mars and me. So tell you what we'll do. We'll raid. You know what? What was it? The other one I was going to raid is also gone off. So let's raid Laurie Bug, who likes to hula hoop. So see if Laurie Bug will let us raid. Laurie Bug will let us raid with 1 viewer, 2 viewers.
Yay!
All right, we'll be back next week, and maybe Brian will be here, and maybe a new person will be here. And maybe Genocide Rob will be here, but definitely Addie's not going to be here.
Okay.
Okay. Good night.
Good night, guys.
That's a great deal.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it worked.
All right.
All right, it was a good show.
Yep. Have a good night, man.
Yeah, good night.